Set to go in Jacksonville. A beautiful day, 77 degrees. It's 84 in the pool. Yes, they have two pools here in Jacksonville, and there's a look from the water. Looking down on the field, they are ready to party here for the Browns and the Jaguars. Did not have that when you played here in 95, Steve Berline.
They did not. They did not. And, you know, I don't know. That year was so tough, I might have wanted to spend more time in that pool than on the field, if you ask me.
Yeah, if it had ice in it. Yeah.
If I had the option.
Yeah.
Well, the Jaguars won the toss. They have deferred, so Cleveland will start with the ball. Marlon Moore is back deep to receive the kick from Josh Scobie, who nearly propelled the Jags to their first win of the season last week, but his attempt at a 55-yard field goal was blocked in the final seconds in Tennessee, so Jacksonville comes in with an 0-6 record against the 3-2 Cleveland Browns. Underway in Jacksonville, and the Browns will start at the 20-yard line. Brian Hoyer, 6-2 as a starter with the Cleveland Browns. Here you see his season numbers and still playing pretty much mistake-free football, just the one pick on the year.
What an amazing story it is for Brian Hoyer. You know, this coaching staff did not know who he was, much about him. They knew he was coming off an ACL injury, but over time and getting to know him and giving him a chance to prove himself, they realized they've got a pretty special young quarterback in Brian Hoyer.
Hoyer and Aaron Rodgers, the only quarterbacks this year with at least 100 attempts and only one interception. Play action to start, and they swing it out of the backfield to the fullback, Ray Agnew. J.T. Thomas makes the tackle, gives us a chance to look at the Cleveland starting offense, and again, the big move up front at center. Alex Mack placed on IR. He's out for the year, so John Greco starts at center. Paul McQuiston starts at right guard, and then Ben Tate leading this running back attack, Mr. Berline.
And there, we'll see three running backs today, but Ben Tate, the one who's been getting the load lately, 3 times the last 3 weeks, over 20 carries for him.
3 yards on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Hoyer to the air again, fires to Miles Austin, who's got a first down. 19th catch of the year for the 9th-year vet. As we look at the Jacksonville starting defense, Chris Clemens has a sack in back-to-back weeks. Paul Posluszny, a rare quiet week last week, only had 2 tackles, but Jonathan Cyprien picked up the slack. He made 14 tackles, a career high a week ago.
He's going to be asked to do a lot again today. This Browns deep offense puts a lot of pressure right up the middle of their opponent's defense. We'll see if the Jacksonville Jaguars can hold up.
And Ben Tate on first down, maybe gets a yard. Posluszny leading the charge for the Jacksonville defense. It's Tate, Crowell, and Terrence West who's active this week for the Browns. He was inactive last week, but this time Glenn Winston sits down.
And offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan for the Cleveland Browns told us that there was going to be a lot of runs like that one right there. They're going to be slamming it up in there. They know this Jacksonville defensive front is very stout, but he's going to ask his running backs to turn those 0-yard gains into plus yardage gains if they can do it over time.
Play action. Hoyer has room to run. Instead, he fires towards the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for Taylor Gabriel.
And Hoyer's going to come out, and what the problem with is as Hoyer comes back this way, nobody can get loose. He has one option, and that's Hawkins on the outside. Now Hawkins, he throws that out of bounds, but Hoyer had the option to run or an underneath route, but the underneath routes got held up in the traffic of the play action. Jacksonville doing a nice job on that part of that play, but still Hawkins and Hoyer really need to hook up on that play.
3rd down and 9. Cleveland 36% this year on 3rd downs. Pressure coming. Hoyer fires, and it's incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind Travis Benjamin, and the Browns will have to punt.
That was great pressure by Cedric Marks. And what we saw right there, though, 3rd and long, that's not a situation that Cleveland finds themselves in much during the course of the season to this point. They've managed, because of their run game, to keep the 3rd downs manageable. Right here, when it's obvious pass, Brian Hoyer is not going to have nearly as much success.
Spencer Lanning, who's averaging 43 yards a kick, is awaiting the snap at his own 22. Ace Sanders back deep for the Jags. And Sanders backpedaling to the 11. And he's thrown down at the 16-yard line. Marlon Moore makes the tackle on special teams. Blake Bortles coming out for the Jags when we come back. Gus Bradley told us he saw pain in the locker room last week after Jacksonville's near win in Tennessee. This team has come close, but they still haven't gotten over the hump at 0-6. Denard Robinson starts at running back today, and a nice pickup on first down. A 13-yard gain for Robinson. Deshaun Gibson makes the tackles. You take a look at Blake Bortles making his 4th start. 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions on the year. And he had 336 yards passing a week ago in Tennessee. That tied a rookie record in Jacksonville along with Byron Leftwich. Robinson credited with a 14-yard run on first down. That's a season long for Denard Robinson.
Up and down. Green 80. Green a shot.
Back to Robinson, trying to get around the left side, and he is slammed down to the ground by Carlos Dansby. Let's take a look at the Jacksonville starting offense. They start 6 rookies, and one of them is Luke Bowanko at center. And then it's Denard Robinson starting for the injured Toby Gerhart today.
Yeah, Jacksonville doing everything they can to manufacture some sort of running game. He had a nice run, but they're ranked 32nd in the National Football League, and they're trying everything to help Blake Bortles in every way they can, not only with their receiving core, but also the absence of that running game has really hurt them.
Gus Bradley told us Gerhart is making progress, and they hope that he can return next week. He's out with a foot injury. Bortles flushed out. Now throws, and a nice comeback route there by Clay Harbor to make the catch. It'll bring up 3rd down. There's a flag down on the far side of the field as we look at the Cleveland defense, and Ishmael Kitchen starts at nose tackle today for the injured Ataba Rubin. Carlos Dansby at linebacker and Buster Screen. We'll see him move around a lot today, Steve Berline.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, defense number 21. 5-yard penalty will result in an automatic first down.
And that's on Justin Gilbert, who's going to see a lot of time today, Steve.
Yeah, when Justin Gilbert comes in the games in the regular defensive situation, it'll move Buster Screen inside because it'll be that a 3-wide receiver or 4-wide receiver package for Jacksonville. Buster Screen becomes a nickel defensive back when first-round draft choice Justin Gilbert comes in.
That's because K'Wan Williams is out today after suffering a concussion last week. So the penalty makes it first down and 10 for Jacksonville. Denard Robinson, and he gets close to the 40-yard line before John Hughes makes the tackle.
You know, these two teams have gone through stretches where they've struggled, but Cleveland has always had their run game. Jacksonville has yet to find theirs. Toby Gerhart was really, even when he was healthy, was kind of ineffective, although he has been hobbled all season. But no question, the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's one thing that is completely absent from their offense.
And he hasn't been kind of ineffective. The run game across the board has been terribly ineffective.
Last in the league, they average only 69 rush yards per game. Marquise Lee takes this one, and he's forced out at the 44-yard line by Kirksey. But this is the way that Jacksonville has to try to manufacture some offense, create ways to get the ball into their finesse players' hands.
Well, you see Marquise Lee coming across in motion. That's one of the things that Cleveland Brown head coach Mike Pettin told us. You got to watch out with Jed Fish because it's almost like he's drawing up plays in the dirt. He always comes up with 5, 6, 7 new concepts, new schemes that keep you on your toes. If you're not prepared and disciplined, he will take advantage of that.
And Mike Pettin knows him well. They spent 4 years together on the Baltimore coaching staff. 3rd down and 2 for Jacksonville with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Blake Bortles has to call an early timeout. So he'll talk this one over. We'll come back with 3rd and 2 right after this. Beautiful look from high above Jacksonville, and take a look at the AFC North standings. All 4 teams off to solid starts. In fact, it's the only division in football with every team that has a 500 record or better. Cincinnati with that tie last week, but the Browns are right in the thick of it, and they already have a division win over the Steelers.
Now, there you have it. The winning percentage of the AFC North is above everybody else, and of course it's, first third of the season is just passed, but no question that is a dogfight.
So following the timeout, 3rd down and 2 for Jacksonville. Jags were 8 for 15 on third downs a week ago. Bortles will throw. Fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. Threw into double coverage. And Jacksonville will have to bring out the punt unit.
Well, you saw a big hit by Dante Whitner at the end of that play, and he's a veteran. He knows he's got to be careful with this defenseless receiver kind of stuff. That was in a situation where sometimes we're going to see a flag in that situation. Right there, you see pressure bearing down on Blake Bortles as well.
And this is a hit as he comes low. He hits with the shoulder and down low in the abdomen. That's going to be okay, particularly when the ball is right there. But Blake Bortles had a lot of time to throw that, stared down his receiver a little bit, and it ended up having Allen Robinson stay down.
Thursday football starts right here. Welcome to the Wild Wild West when the Chargers and Broncos take off. It's Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. What a game this will be coming up on Thursday. Jacksonville will punt on 4th and 2. Angers kick towards Jim Leonard, who lets it bounce. Looked like he momentarily lost that in the sun. And Jacksonville downs the football. Allen Robinson back on the bench after taking that big hit on third down. No surprise that Blake Bortles targeted Robinson on third down. He targets him 35% on third downs. That's the highest on the team. So Cleveland's offense comes back out for its second drive. 9:41 to go opening quarter. No score between the Browns and the Jaguars. They played a crazy game last year on December 1st with Jacksonville pulling out a 32-28 win a year ago in Cleveland. Started on the ground to Ben Tate, and he is met by Paul Posluszny. We're going to meet JB and Tony Gonzalez.
All right, Andrew, Joe Flacco loves the first half.
Yes, he does. This is his 10th first half touchdown this year. Hits Owen Daniels for 5 yards. Baltimore up 7-0.
I'm sure Steve Berline had some streaks like that. Back to Andrew, Steve, and Steve.
Hey, that's a season for most quarterbacks. Maybe not most. Maybe for me back when I was playing.
Just those in this booth.
Yeah, just those quarterbacks in this booth. Right.
Tate again, and he is spun back. Jaguars not fooled. Roy Miller getting there. JT Thomas in the backfield as well.
Well, we mentioned Alex Mack is not in at center. Greco is in, and watch the interior line play. The Browns knew that they were going to really struggle to run the football because this front four of Jacksonville Jaguars is really the strength of their entire roster. They've got veteran depth there, and they knew it would be a struggle to run the football. But even with Alex Mack out of the lineup, they're going to have to get more out of that for their offense to work as it should.
Third down and 11. Hoyer passes batted down. There's a flag in the backfield. It was Senderick Marks that tipped that Hoyer pass, and now we wait to see what Tony Correnti has for us.
Holding, offense, number 75. This penalty will be declined. 4th down.
That's on the rookie Joel Bitonio, and Cleveland will have to punt again.
You'll see on the left side of your screen, number 75 right there. He gets beat to the outside, and right there, yeah, good job ripping up underneath. And that was Geno Hayes coming with the pressure. That's a great job, him taking advantage of the arms extended by Bitonio.
So second punt for Lanning in this opening quarter. Sanders awaiting the kick at his own 30-yard line. Returnable. Sanders trying to get to the sideline, and he's finally dragged down. That was Craig Robertson making the tackle on special teams with 8:09 to go first quarter. No score in Jacksonville. With NFL Mobile, you can stream live local Sunday afternoon primetime games and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. You can learn more at NFL.com/mobile. Allen Robinson had the wind knocked out of him, but he is back out there. Bottom of your screen for Jacksonville on first down.
Green is up.
Play action. Bortles hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Gibson on the return for Cleveland. Deshaun Gibson's taken one back already this year. He's at the 20, cuts back the other way, has a block, and finally brought down at the 16. Third interception this season for Tashawn Gibson, and the Browns are set up with great field position.
Well, that was not on Blake Bortles. They came out with a hard play action pass. He thought he had time. He turned around to try and make the throw, and Jabal Sheard, number 97, is the one that came up the field, and just coming off your right side of your screen, watch, he hits Blake Bortles right in the jaw as he's getting ready to deliver that ball, and he cannot finish the throw. So the ball goes up in the air, the interception's made, and now Cleveland has a great opportunity.
Here's the hit on Bortles by Jabal Sheard. 8th interception this season by Bortles. That's now tied for the most in the league with Kirk Cousins. Now let's see if the Browns can capitalize in the red zone. And Miles Austin was not looking for that pass. The Browns have 0 yards on their last 7 plays.
That was a total blow. Miles Austin was thinking it was a different play.
And
Hoyer threw the quick slant, and Austin had inside position, but he was facing the defensive back. That was almost offensive pass interference because he wasn't even playing the football.
And Cleveland very lucky that ball was not intercepted. Coming back the other way, when the receiver's not looking, bad things happen, generally speaking.
Hoyer fires towards the end zone. It's incomplete, but we have a flag down.
Jacksonville took a timeout before the snap. Or no, Cleveland, I'm sorry.
Timeout was called from the bench of Cleveland prior to the snap.
Interesting, they throw a flag on that. No flag, obviously. That's just to stop the play. First timeout this half for the Browns. So that play will wipe it out. Did not count.
The timeout was so late that the official on the far side couldn't get the play stopped before the snap was called, and obviously everybody else, both teams started to play the play. But this is a place to this point, Cleveland, and we talked about in the open how it was a trap game for Cleveland coming in playing a winless Jacksonville club. They have not shown up as sharp as we've seen them. But then again, this is a team that has fallen way behind in a lot of games this year and been forced to come back. And today it looks like they're getting off to another slow start offensively.
And you could sense the concern, though, from the coaching staff. They knew that this defensive front for the Jaguars was very, very formidable and was going to be a challenge for them.
It's 2nd and 10. Hoyer swings it to West. And the Jaguars defense has the answer. Andre Branch leading the charge. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, as much as we've talked about Kyle Shanahan, this is a play where I think they should have tried to run the football. There's only 6 guys in the box, and they tried the little swing pass. I think that's one place where as much commitment as the Browns have shown to the running game, that's one place where they probably should have run it and didn't. That swing pass was going nowhere. The defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars was all spread at the perimeter of the play, and that's exactly where the Browns threw it.
Let's see what Kyle Shanahan draws up on 3rd and 10 for Cleveland. 2 on the play clock. They don't see it, and a flag comes in. Delay a game on Cleveland. They blow this dead. Again, the new center, Greco, working with Hoyer.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
And that is something that I think a lot of people don't understand. You got a new center up there. The body language, the communication that goes on between a quarterback and a center. And remember, Alex Mack had never missed a snap in his career for the Cleveland Browns until the injury last week. John Greco's never been a center at any level of his experience, so he's still learning how to be a center.
Penalty makes it 3rd and 15 for Cleveland. Hoyer over the middle, drops. A little bit behind Miles Austin, but Billy Cundiff will have to come out to attempt a field goal.
Well, this is the bane of every quarterback. It's hard enough to make the right decision, stand in the face of the rush, and deliver a good shot. But that was behind Miles Austin. He's got to make that. You got to turn your entire body, get both hands around it. It's one of the basic things the receiver's got to do. Now he knows he's running into some coverage and is starting to hear footsteps. But that play might not have gotten the 1st down anyway. But you still have to make those catches.
So Cundiff comes on for a 40-yard attempt. He's 7 out of 9 this year. Kick is up, and it's good. So Cleveland off the turnover, not able to punch it in with a touchdown, but they do put 3 on the board to take the lead. A look from the pool in Jacksonville, where the Jags have fallen behind 3-0 after the 40-yard field goal from Billy Cundiff, who will now kick it away to Jordan Todman. With the Steves, Berline, and Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan, and take a look at this. Last 9 plays, the Browns have 0 yards.
Well, and they've been facing 3rd and 11 plus on an average on all 3 of their 3rd downs today. This team is not used to being in 3rd and long like that. Nobody converts those at a high level.
Touchback off the foot of Billy Cundiff. Tonight there's a new gold rush in the Yukon worth billions of dollars. You won't believe how they're finding it. Plus, can Rome save one of the last wonders of the world? It's only on 60 Minutes tonight. So Blake Bortles, we'll see how he responds after the interception and the big hit also by Jabal Sheard.
Yeah, they had Clay Harbor one-on-one on Jabal Sheard. That's asking a lot out of your tight end to block a big defensive end like that by himself.
6.5 to go in the first.
Down. Green 80. Green is up.
Denard Robinson off left tackle, and he gets to the 25-yard line. And we've had the Jaguars a couple times this season, and we always wonder how come they're not taking more deep shots. So we asked Jed Fish, the offensive coordinator, about that yesterday, and he said the reason we haven't taken many deep shots is because we can't get the run game going, so we can't play off that. Exact opposite for the Browns offense. Their run game is so established that Hoyer and Jordan Cameron specifically having a ton of success off the play action. So the Jaguars are going to try to pound the ball today, get the run game going, and then play off that. Keep it on the ground here. Robinson up the middle for a first down. Tackle made by Dante Whitner.
This is just another good, solid run by Denard Robinson. He told us last week when we spoke with him that he's starting to feel more and more like a running back. Of course, he was an All-American quarterback at the University of Michigan, but he sure is looking very confident carrying that football today, and the Jaguars are moving people out up front.
Denard Robinson again slips away from 1 and thrown down by Joe Hayden. Well, we've talked a lot about Alex Mack already in this game, the injured center, but the Cleveland defense also thin up front. Phil Taylor out again with the knee. Billy Wynn is not playing because of a quad. Armonte Bryant lost for the year last week, and Atamba Rubin is also inactive, as we mentioned earlier. So it's Ishmael Kitchen starting at nose tackle.
Yeah, and that really hurts a defense because those are the guys you can keep fresh and keep fresh guys rushing the offensive line.
This is Storm Johnson getting the carry, and he gets to the 45-yard line. Meanwhile, the other running back, Denard Robinson, already has a career high in rushing yards in this first quarter with 42.
Well, another factor to point out, too, and this is why we're going to see, I think, Jed Fish committed to this run game more than normal, is that this Browns defense, when they're healthy, they're the 30th ranked run defense in the NFL. So everybody wants to pound it at them. Now you're into your depth up front with all those injuries. They're even more vulnerable.
3rd down and 2 for Jacksonville. Storm Johnson again, the rookie, and he's not going to get it. Well, we showed you the Browns thin up front, but Paul Kruger led the charge that time. Kitchen also in on the tackle, and Jacksonville will have to punt again.
I'll tell you one thing, this is a sign of a really veteran defense as Kruger comes off the edge. On 3rd downs, they rise up and play well, and there's no question they struggled in 1st and 2nd down in the run game, and the Jacksonville has had some success, but on 3rd down, guys like Kruger can really step up and on those crucial downs force the punt, and that's really what a winning team does over the course of 4 quarters. They get those 3 downs and they win those, and everything becomes a little bit easier.
Also a little surprising that after Robinson seemed to have a good momentum, they went to Storm Johnson the last couple of carries on that drive as Anger's punt goes into the end zone. These teams have combined to go 0 for 5 on 3rd down in the first quarter. Brian Hoyer coming back out with a 3-0 lead. So far, this Jacksonville defense looking good. They've held Cleveland to just 15 yards of offense.
It's been everything, too. You see the hits that Hoyer's taken so far. 0 yards running the ball for the Cleveland Browns. And you look at Kyle Shanahan right there. We know for a fact, though, with Kyle Shanahan, we sat down with him yesterday, everybody in the NFL knows he will not abandon the running game because that's where their big plays come in the play-action game.
Ben Tate, the running back on 1st and 10 for the Browns. It's a play action to Tate. Hoyer throws, and that pass is caught by Gabriel for a first down. Browns have had so much success off the play action this year, and it works right now.
Well, on this play, this is one they tried earlier, and Taylor Gabriel got caught up in the wash and couldn't get across to give Hoyer another option. Now, on the outside, there was also a receiver, but Hoyer comes out around there, looks around. If he's got two options, it's all that much better. And that time, for the first time, you see the completion percentage.
That was on play action, where there was 5 touchdowns and no interceptions this season off the play action. This time it's a pitch to Tate running right, and he's chopped down and out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great way to stop that zone read. And so many times on those zone run plays, you see that back stick his foot in the ground and turn up the field. On that play, Jacksonville gave him no seams. Tate had to keep looking and looking for a place to cut back in and get a yardage, and there was just nothing there, and it turns into no gain.
And that's where most of the big plays come from, Steve. It's on the cutback with the overflowing defense, really paranoid about getting beat to the edge. These running backs put one foot in the ground and cut right behind it. That's where the big plays come from, but great pursuit by the Jaguars thus far.
Hoyer looking right the entire time. It's juggled and caught by Andrew Hawkins, and that's good for another Cleveland first down.
Good job by Brian Hoyer recognizing the man-to-man coverage, getting the ball out quick, and of course a great job finding the ball and making the catch for Andrew Hawkins. Just one of the many undrafted playmakers on this Cleveland Browns offense.
He leads the team in receptions now with 25 on the year, but he was held to no catches last week against Pittsburgh. Then again, Brian Hoyer only threw 17 passes in that rout of the Steelers. Tate on first down, and he is met by J.T. Thomas right at midfield.
That's exactly the kind of run Kyle Shanahan thought they would see. As Tate runs up in, he'll accept the contact almost right at the line of scrimmage as Thomas hits him right there at the line of scrimmage and turns a 0 play into a 3-yard play. And that's exactly what Kyle Shanahan said their team expected in their run game, and Tate gets it done. Gets 3 yards after contact up inside.
We asked Kyle Shanahan about rotating the running backs, and he said that's running backs coach Wilbert Montgomery's call, unless there's a specific play that Shanahan likes a specific running back for. Otherwise, it's Montgomery making the call as Hoyer in trouble and just throws it away.
That was a great job by Ziggy Hood, who was playing defensive end on that play. You know, these bootlegs are called when you feel like the defensive end on the backside is going to crash down to try and make the tackle from behind. You're trying to keep the defense honest right there. Ziggy Hood actually came from the inside, looped around to the outside and made a good play, recognizing what was going on. You see the third down conversions today for the Cleveland Browns, not so good.
Yeah, and averaging at least 11 yards to go on third. Right here, it's 3rd and 7. Hoyer throws left, and it's incomplete. Travis Benjamin could not reel it in, and Spencer Lanning will have to come out and kick it away again.
Yeah, Benjamin tried to spear it. It got to him, and he picked it up late on the route. Hoyer puts it right in the right spot, and Benjamin just can't squeeze it. It was a tough catch, no question, but Travis Benjamin will tell you he should have caught that one. Hoyer could have put it a little lower maybe, but that was on the money. And you know, he just came out there with such heat on it, he couldn't pick it up.
And give credit to Alan Ball, too. Good tight coverage on that play, contesting that thing all the way.
Browns came into the game with only 3 drop passes on the year, the fewest in the NFL. League average is 9. As Lanning's punt bounces at the 5, and
that's a touchback.
It looked like Marlon Moore was in the end zone, and it's a touchback.
Yeah, that Marlon Moore made the mistake of getting into the end zone. He had to come back out and get 2 feet in the field of play. He was in the air when he touches this ball. See, he'll go into the end zone, he'll jump, but he doesn't come down in the field of play before he touches the football, and that's a touchback.
Is there any excuse for that, to run into the end zone?
It drives me crazy.
Because why would he even be going in the end zone?
As a cover guy, I just consider the goal line the edge of the earth.
Yes.
Yeah, the edge of the earth. You can't go over it or you fall to your death, and you got to stay in the field of play.
It doesn't matter if you go in, it's over. You're out of the play.
And you saw the reaction from Spencer Lanning. He thought he had a beauty, but instead it's a touchback.
Oh, the punters go crazy when you lose 20 yards of their net punt.
So 1st and 10 for the Jags with 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Cleveland in front. Denard Robinson back in and running back, has some room up the middle. First down and more. Denard Robinson tackled at the 40-yard line by Gibson, but a big pickup.
They found something, the Jaguars, that is, off the right side of this offensive line, cutting it back there. That time there was a nice seam. Good job up front by Luke Bowenko, the rookie center. Brian Linder, the right guard, another rookie. They're giving this guy, Denard Robinson, some seams up in there.
A 20-yard gain. They go back to him on first down, pushing the pile forward. And actually, that was Bortles on the keeper. How about that? And that's the end of the first quarter. Cleveland leads 3-0. We're back to Jacksonville after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Started the second quarter not what we were expecting in terms of rushing yards. Cleveland with just 4 in that opening quarter, and Denard Robinson already a career high with 62 yards rushing for Jacksonville.
Their average per game right now is 69.5, so they're almost at their Denard Robinson's almost at the average.
Bortles, after an 8-yard run to close out the first quarter, fires to Shorts, the Cleveland native, for a Jacksonville first down.
This is something young quarterbacks sometimes struggle with. Watch Shorts come out. This is a quick speed out to put this ball right on there. Blake Bortles shows a lot of confidence, and Cecil Shorts was targeted 16 times. So I know Blake Bortles was very happy to have him back in the lineups, and those numbers show it.
Green a shot.
Bortles, and it's incomplete, looking for Shorts. Joe Hayden stride for stride, and you'll see that matchup today. Hayden's going to follow Shorts.
Yeah, people have been talking a lot about Joe Hayden this year. He's given up more big plays than normal. He's had a few pass interference or illegal contact penalties called on him, but he is still regarded as one of the very best cover corners in the league, and that's why he draws what is arguably the toughest receiver on the other team every single week.
Been battling a hip injury of late. Did not practice all last week leading up to the Pittsburgh game, but still played. Robinson to the 45-yard line, and that'll bring up third down.
We mentioned Joe Hayden and having a few extra penalties called on him. That puts him in a very big group of guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the penalties in the defensive backfield, I think the entire league, as you see there, he's allowed 22 receptions for that many yards. I mean, the whole league is struggling to adjust to the point of emphasis of giving the receivers more leeway down the field. And Joe Hayden's one of the guys that is a victim of that.
He's also always matched up with the other team's top receiver like he is today with Cecil Shorts. 3rd and 8. Pressure coming from the edge. Bortles looking deep for Marquise Lee. He got tangled up, and it's incomplete. And now it's 4th and 8 for Jacksonville.
You might say, why take that shot? I think it's a good message that Blake Bortles is sending. You thought you had one-on-one coverage on the outside. Jetfish probably said, hey, let's take a shot up the field. We did not see that at all in their game last week against the Tennessee Titans, and that makes it very difficult on a receiver to get open because those defensive backs will then not jump every route underneath. They will not respect you deep up the field.
3rd punt for Anger. Leonard is back deep. Calls for a fair catch at the 9. Mike Pettin said, Jim Leonard's not a punt returner, he's a punt catcher. And he does just that here, early second quarter. Only one play in this game so far of more than 20 yards. And it goes to Jacksonville and Denard Robinson. 1st and 10 for Cleveland from the 8-yard line. This is Crowell getting the carry. And Geno Hayes and Puzzlesny make the tackle.
Well, and how significant is that, Andrew? When you talk to all these coaches, they're talking about these explosive plays. Last week, you mentioned Cleveland only threw the ball 17 times. 8 completions, 27.1 yards per completion last week.
Now, on the year, Hoyer leads the NFL, averaging better than 13 yards per completion. We'll go back to Crowell, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Well, we're seeing Cleveland go to this more up-tempo style now as we look at it from the bird's eye view, the blimp up top. Cleveland trying to change the momentum, get the tempo going, try and get the Jaguars more on their heels, get some sort of offensive continuity going.
And this is another one of those key downs, 3rd down, that really makes or breaks you at the end of the day, your ability to pick these up. Neither team has done well so far.
Neither team has converted. They're combined 0 for 7. It's 3rd and 4 here for the Browns. Hoyer shotgun, and the pass is batted down. Once again, it's Derek Marks getting his hand up there.
Derek Marks has been a force so far in this game up front. He is arguably one of the top interior defensive linemen in the NFL. And what do you teach these guys? He was being double teamed right there. He knew he wasn't going to get to Brian Hoyer, so he's taught to read the quarterback when he gets ready to deliver the ball, put those big paws up, try and knock that ball down. Great job.
And we talked with the Browns yesterday, and they raved about the Jacksonville front four. And early on, that Jacksonville front four is winning the battle in the trenches big time against the Browns offensive line. Lanning to punt. Sanders, a fair catch call at the 35-yard line. Jacksonville defense is doing its job. Can the offense get it going? Jacksonville with a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. There have been 6 combined completions in this game and 7 total punts. Bortles on first to Harbor, and the Browns not fooled. Dansby brings down Harbor. Let's go back to that last punt. What'd you see here, Steve Tasker?
Well, watch as Reynolds comes off this edge. Is he in the neutral zone before this ball is snapped? Watch there. That would be a first down on a 4th and 4. Reynolds jumps in. It looked like he was over the football, and neither official threw a flag. And I thought if you can't get it first down any other way, you'll certainly take one by penalty. And it looks like
that looked pretty clear.
Yeah, it looked like the Jacksonville Jaguars got away with one.
Loss of 1 on that play, so it's 2nd and 11. Play action to Robinson. Bortles right back to Harbor. And he is forced out of bounds by Barkevius Mingo. Brings up 3rd down.
Good recognition by Barkevius Mingo. You know, Jacksonville with the run game going, jump-started by Denard Robinson today. You figure that Cleveland's got to respect that hard run action to the left side. You want to try and take advantage of that, but a good job by Barkevius Mingo not losing his discipline and coming back and making the play.
3rd down and 8.
Let's go, Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Down. Green 80. Green a shot.
Bortles has all day. Looking for Marquise Lee along the sideline. Makes the catch. Was he inbounds? Yes. 1st down, Jacksonville, a gain of 20.
What a great touch throw by Bortles. He lobs us over. We'll see. Does Lee get both feet down? Right foot's down, and that left foot does come down in bounds. That second right foot looks like a good catch. I think it's a good call. We'll see. Yeah, and they're going to challenge it.
There's a challenge flag. Mike Pettin throws the red flag before Bortles could take the snap.
It happened right in front of the Cleveland bench, so everybody had an opinion on that one. Everybody was in Mike Pettin's ears.
And Bortles was trying to get that snap off before they could make a decision to challenge that play just to be safe.
It is close.
Cleveland is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
I'll tell you what, whether it's complete or not, that was a heck of a throw by the young quarterback, dropping it in the basket.
We're back, and here's Tony Correnti.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed as a completed pass. 1st down for Jacksonville.
So Mike Pettin loses the challenge. We go back to New York. Our officiating expert, Mike Carey. What'd you see on that play, Mike?
Hey guys, what you have is one of those classic toe taps on the sideline. The right foot is still on the ground when he gets control of the ball. Then his left foot hits clearly in bounds, and he maintains control all the way through the process. Beautiful play on the field, good officiating, and good use of replay.
Thank you, Mike. A 20-yard gain for Marquise Lee. That's the longest catch of his career. It's 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Denard Robinson and John Hughes made the first contact, and then Kirksey finishes him off.
And not a very good use of a challenge probably on the sideline by Mike Pettin. You talk about the good things that happened on that play for Cleveland. Nothing good happened on that play.
Yeah, and it happened right on their sideline. So everybody wants that to be an incomplete pass, but I think their hearts overrule what their eyes are telling them.
I think the tempo that Jacksonville was using trying to get up to the ball maybe got Mike Pettin to react a little quicker than he would have liked.
Pettin now 1 for 2 on challenges this year. 2nd and 10. Bortles again has time, fires to Clay Harbor, who's cut down at the 41-yard line by Justin Gilbert.
Super nice play by Justin Gilbert here. Discipline in his coverage, dropping back into his zone. I think Blake Bortles thought he had more out of this play, but Justin Gilbert kept his discipline, stayed back, let Blake Bortles throw that football, then came up and took the legs out.
You know, the key so far is both these defenses have been really good on first and second down, and they've kept both offenses third and long all day.
Third and long here. It's 3rd and 8 for Jacksonville. Pressure coming. Bortles doesn't see it, and he's slammed to the turf. Pass is incomplete. It was Justin Gilbert, the first-round pick, coming on a blitz.
Well, you're going to see a few things on this play. Off the edge, you see Leonard coming up the field. That creates a delayed lane for Justin Gilbert to shoot through that gap. Nobody accounted for Justin Gilbert coming up inside. Leonard coming up first on the outside, drew the running back. That freed up Gilbert to put the big shot on Blake Bortles.
That was a well-orchestrated blitz and perfectly executed.
So the number 8 pick knocks down the number 3 pick and forces Jacksonville to punt. Langer's punt goes into the end zone. 9:37 to go first half. Cleveland's taken a couple hits in this first half on Blake Bortles. Welcome back to Jacksonville. 3-0 Cleveland in the second quarter, and both offenses have struggled mightily today. In fact, we've already had 8 punts in this first half. 1st and 10 for Cleveland from the 20. Play action. Hoyer taking a deep shot, looking for Benjamin into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Allen Ball and Jonathan Cyprien running stride for stride with Benjamin.
We talked about in the open how Cyprien was going to be asked to do some things in the passing game. Hard play action right up the middle of the field. And watch all the time that Hoyer has to scan the football field and go over the top. Everybody's running deep, and there are 4 defenders back with 2 receivers. I mean, they've got all those guys running back there with those 2 Cleveland wide receivers. It's hard to complete a pass into that coverage.
Hoyer's already thrown 14 passes. We said earlier he had 17 passes all of last week. Keeps this one on the ground to Tate. He finds a little bit of room. Tate with the first down and shoved to the ground at the 37-yard line. Telvin Smith makes the tackle. A gain of 18 for Ben Tate.
Well, this is what we're more used to seeing. When you study the Cleveland Browns, that right side of the offensive line doing a good job of getting the linebackers and the defensive front for the Jaguars to pursue, overflow a little bit, and then Ben Tate puts that foot in the ground, cuts behind it, takes advantage of the open cutback lane.
Longest play today for the Browns. Right back to Tate. He did not get any on that one. Avery Jones makes the tackle for Jacksonville.
That's one of the things about this running game. When you're stopping the running game up front as a Jacksonville defense, that gives you the freedom and the confidence to drop guys back into coverage to cover those big play action fakes.
Browns going quickly. There's a flag down in the secondary as Tate makes the catch. But the flag is all the way at the the Jacksonville 42-yard line. Could be too many men. Waiting the call from Tony Correnti.
Oh, yeah.
And now Correnti wants to huddle up.
I mean, they got caught with an extra guy trying to get off the field. That's J.T. Thomas.
And that's smart on Brian Hoyer's part. They knew that Jacksonville had some confusion. Kyle Shanahan probably in Hoyer's ear, or Hoyer figuring out on his own, just saying, hey, get the quick snap. We'll get a cheap 5 right now.
And what the delay is here is the officials are still huddled up at the 40-yard line.
It's pretty clear, right?
Well,
Illegal substitution, 12 on the field, 12th player did not come off the field in time. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
you got to wonder sometimes the guy's almost off, or if he's non-participating, you know, that they turn their heads the other way and not give a cheap penalty. But when your offense quick snaps it just for that fact, I think you got to give them the penalty, you know, even technically speaking, because I think it's the right call.
It is, and it's the whole up-tempo philosophy. You don't want the defense to have the freedom to substitute. If they try, you got to make them pay.
Terrence West in at running back for the Browns on 2nd and 4, and movement on the line.
False start.
They give it right back.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And that's one of that's the frustrating thing. You just get a nice 5-yard penalty and you give it right back to Jacksonville. It turns it back into a 2nd and 9.
That's the rookie 2nd-round draft choice, Joel Bitonio. A little bit excited, trying to get the good cutoff block on the backside there.
That's his 2nd penalty today, but Bitonio has graded out very well so far in this season. The 2nd-round pick out of Nevada led for Brian Coley into the Wolfpack. Second and 9. West. And again, this Jacksonville defense is doing a tremendous job today stuffing the run.
Well, what you're seeing here, and I think it's the right call by Kyle Shanahan on 2nd and long. Generally, teams will not play an 8-man front when in that situation because it's more of an obvious pass situation, but they're showing up front. They're just better than the Cleveland Browns right now. They're making the plays, even when Cleveland Browns are playing the percentages and trying to just shorten that third down distance, making an easier conversion.
Browns have averaged 3rd and 9 today, and here we are. 3rd and 9, 7:50 to go first half. Hoyer over the middle, the pass is caught. First down, Cleveland. That's Andrew Hawkins reeling it in and moving into Jacksonville territory.
Great job by Andrew Hawkins beating Will Blackman. Look at the shake at the top of the route, that acceleration out of the break. He's not a big guy. If you're not big, you better be hard to get a hand on, and that's exactly what Andrew Hawkins is. And he's also showing no fear to go across the middle.
Browns going with tempo here. West gets the call on first down after the 16-yard gain by Hawkins. Blackman and Puslesny make the tackle. There's Kyle Shanahan, just 34 years old in his first season as Browns offensive coordinator. Hoyer, plenty of time. Touch pass to Austin. First down and room to run. Knocked out at the 20-yard line by Evans. Great pass and great touch from Brian Hoyer.
Oh, this is not easy to do. You look at Hoyer, he comes out, he's got a lot of time. You see Miles Austin coming across the middle of the field, but to lob that ball up and over a defender is really a difficult throw from a quarterback standpoint. Hoyer made it look easy.
Shanahan has Jacksonville guessing now on this drive. It's West up the middle, and he gets to the 17-yard line. Red Bryant, over from Seattle, makes the tackle.
You see now as much of a struggle as the running game was early in this game in the first quarter, the Browns sticking with it and now starting to reap some benefits from it. Of course, most of their success have been with Hoyer moving out of the pocket on rollouts and naked boots coming out and buying some time in the passing game. One thing about it, they don't have many options. Hoyer may have to tuck it and run one of these times because they're going to cover it up.
On 2nd and 7, Ben Tate to the 15. And Roy Miller makes the tackle at the 14-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and short for Cleveland.
Well, you're looking at, I think, the effect of, even though Jacksonville has experience going against the up-tempo with their own team, in a game situation is totally different. This up-tempo, I think, and the rhythm that Kyle Shanahan and this offense have found is really starting to tire and frustrate this Jaguars defense.
Browns have struggled on 3rd downs today, just 1 out of 6. Hoyer to Hawkins. He's got the first down. 1st and goal at the 5 for Cleveland. 3rd catch today for Andrew Hawkins.
This is just a quick play action. Didn't even reach the football out, and there Ken throwing Hawkins right into that safety. The play happens so fast the defense can't react because of the quick play fake.
1st and goal from the 5. Agnew, the fullback. The give is to Tate, the running back. Tripped up, and Chris Clemens finishes him off.
Cleveland is the 5th best red zone offense in the NFL, but they're going against the 2nd best red zone defense in the Jacksonville Jaguars. You see a great job at the point of attack, and then the pursuit comes to clean it up in the form of Chris Clemens.
Yeah, red zone teams are the teams that can run the football. They're the ones that make you play it honest. And the hard play fake, when all you have is a short distance to go to the goal line, is even more effective than a regular play fake from a good running team.
5-minute drive for the Browns. Play action on 2nd and goal. Hoyer chase, nowhere to go, and throws it away. The pursuit from Chris Clemens and Derek Marks.
Well, you're going to see here an example of great coverage from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, you see there, these guys are going to give a big hard play fake and give some misdirection, and the Jaguars don't bite. 2 guys chasing Hoyer, and you got 3 guys on 3 in the end zone. Jacksonville and the Browns fighting over the football.
You saw Travis Benjamin coming open behind that play right around the numbers, but Brian Hoyer, with the pressure coming behind him, could not make that throw back to that part of the field.
Browns are 2 for 2 on 3rd downs this drive. 3rd and goal. Hoyer to Cameron, incomplete. Andre Branch was coming after Hoyer, and this Jacksonville defense forces another field goal attempt.
Well, you see the frustration from Hoyer. You're going to see I'm going to show you Jordan Cameron. He's right here, goes straight up the seam, and it's the perfect call. He's open, wide open by NFL terms in the red zone. Hoyer has got to make that throw, and he knows it. Mike Pettin, Kyle Shanahan know it. You saw the frustration already from Brian Hoyer. That's one he'd love to have back.
So a 22-yard try for Billy Cundiff. Already knocked in one, and he knocks this one in as well. The Jacksonville defense has done a good job. They've limited the Browns to 2 field goals, and Brian Hoyer knows he missed one there.
Yeah, Telvin Smith came over from the inside, a linebacker, maybe scared Hoyer into throwing that a little too high. It looked like Telvin was going to slide over, and he had to lob it over, but he put so much pepper on that throw, it was no chance.
As a quarterback, man, that's as good as it gets in the red zone. If he's getting spooked by that, then that's a problem. He's got to be able to trust that ball and deliver a strike, and Hoyer has not made many mistakes this year. That's one he'd love to have back.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. It is a beautiful day in Jacksonville. Scoopy 2 high above. Hoyer is 8 out of 19 for 88 yards, so he's already thrown more times today in the first half than he did all of last week.
Cleveland fans are unfortunately a little familiar with the slow start the Browns have gotten in a couple of games. They were way down to Pittsburgh early on. Of course, they came back and beat Tennessee on the road in the greatest comeback by a road team in NFL history, and you got to tip your hat. That is a big accomplishment for a football team, and I think those kind of victories, plus the win they got in Cleveland last week against Pittsburgh, have done wonders for this team's confidence, I think, in their fans' hope for this season.
We had that game a few weeks ago against Tennessee, and we saw it all take its own form, and this has been a second-half football team all year, with the exception of last week against Pittsburgh. They're not uncomfortable being in this spot for sure.
Another touchback for Billy Cundiff, and the Jaguars will start this drive at the 20-yard line. Week 7 continues later today on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Well, a big drive coming up here for Blake Bortles and the Jaguars. So far, Bortles 5 out of 10 with that one pick that led to a field goal. They have 2 timeouts remaining and 4:16 to go in the first half. Denard Robinson has been the offense for Jacksonville. 9 carries, 64 yards. He's in at running back on 1st and 10. Bortles slings it to Harper. Stays inbounds, but then stepped out at the 23-yard line for a gain of 3. Buster screen on the coverage.
How inept has this Jaguars offense been as they come through this growing period with these young players, quarterback especially? You go back to week 15 of last year all the way through this whole season, this team has not scored 20 points in 8 games. So that's how frustrated they've been as an offense.
Longest streak in franchise history. 2nd and 7. Lee in motion for Jacksonville. Robinson inside handoff. Across the 25 and down to the 27. It'll be 3rd and short.
You look at the success or lack thereof that Jacksonville has had in this game. Look at their possessions. They one ended in the interception and 4 straight punts, and no 7-play drives at all. They're having trouble staying on the field. Of course, we've talked about both teams' inability to convert on third down. Cleveland has kind of gotten over that now with converting on that last drive, but Jacksonville here once again, 3rd and 3.
Empty backfield for Bortles. Throws off his back foot, picked off again. Number 2, and once again it's to Sean Gibson.
That, to me, is on Blake Bortles.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
he's thrown off his back foot, didn't step into the throw, and he threw that, tried to thread the needle through about 6 pieces of cloth to get that to the receiver.
Well, there's so much going on right here. All these people up at the line of scrimmage. Blake Bortles does not know who's coming. You see guys dropping out. All of a sudden, that window, he's distracted by all the different movement going on. Guys flying out, guys coming in. He did not see Gibson jumping in front of that football. He thought, I think, he had a nice open space to throw that thing. That's the disadvantage. He said, they got me.
Yeah.
He knows he was fooled, and they were taking advantage of his inexperience.
You could see when he stepped to throw it wide and then decided to throw it over the middle. He was stepping to throw it to his left and then threw it in the middle.
Well, they want to take a look at this one. All turnovers subject to review. What a playmaker Gibson has become, though. That's his 10th career interception.
It might be that they thought Gibson was down right when he fell down. If he went down
By contact,
and they might have to respot the football right there.
Robinson
And he gets touched
the back
right
of his
there.
jersey.
Yeah, and they might give him, 5 yards. That may be one issue. Everything is under review, though. They're allowed to review anything they feel like.
definitely a catch.
It's a clear pick for Gibson, who now has 4 interceptions on the season. Took one back for a touchdown against the Saints.
Just a great play. That was the perfect play call at that point by Jim O'Neill. Mike Pettin, of course, former defensive coordinator many, many years. They did a super job of baiting Blake Bortles into throwing that football, and Gibson, of course, cashing in on the interception.
Gibson, in his 3rd year out of Wyoming, undrafted out of college. The Browns have 22 undrafted free agents on their team. That's the most in the NFL.
Steve Tasker, you can appreciate that, huh?
I resemble that remark. Tell me about it. Watch how he steps. Steve Berline, you're a quarterback. Watch where he steps and then throws. See?
He's looking outside all the way, and then he's reacting to the defender, Carlos Dansby, flying outside, thinking, oh, I'll just throw it right behind him. He didn't realize that Gibson was doing a super job of shielding himself from the quarterback's vision.
Yeah, you can see he was looking to the left and then just decided, really in mid-motion, to throw that football, gun it in there.
And he's strong enough and athletic enough to do it.
Yeah,
it's just a bad read.
Well, he's got all that. His arms, he's right to trust his arm. And he told us yesterday, I'm going to make the throw. He's not afraid to throw it in there. And at that time, that was a complicated defense in a tight spot that got him.
Gibson now has 7 interceptions in his last 8 games.
Wow.
There's Tony Correnti.
After review, the Cleveland player who intercepted the ball was down by contact at the 33-yard line. It'll be Cleveland's ball, first down at the 33. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3:05. 3:05. Thank you.
Now, this is a situation where Jacksonville has to be very careful. Kyle Shanahan, a very aggressive play caller with the play-action situation. This is a point in the game and a part of the field where aggressive offensive coordinators might take a shot.
Particularly after a turnover.
On first down, they give it to Hawkins. Cameron, the lead blocker. Hawkins gets to the 25-yard line. First carry this season for Andrew Hawkins.
Well, very similar to the play the Jaguars ran early with Marquise Lee. Kyle Shanahan's shown we got that play too. And you get the receiver, a guy like Hawkins on the move who's very explosive. He gets to that edge before the defense even knows what's coming.
Yeah, they get to the edge so fast, the defense just ends up chasing.
8-yard gain for Hawkins. 2:40 to go first half. Austin in motion on 2nd and 2. They give it to West. Bounces it to the outside and goes horizontal instead of vertical. It's going to be very close to a first down.
Yeah, this has been the story and what the Cleveland Browns expected. I mean, the Jacksonville just has great gap control, and you figure at some point somebody's going to get out of a gap and give you a chance to gash him, but Jacksonville hasn't had any of that so far today. Now, Jernard Robinson's had a little bit of success. And of course Cleveland, they're perfectly happy to let this get to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning in Jacksonville. 3rd down coming up when we come back. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowell. They'll have all the latest scores and highlights, along with a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. 3rd down and 1 for the Browns. West up the middle, runs into his own man, and that second effort looks to be a bit short.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. I think Mike Pettine's going to have a decision to make here.
Boy, the front line just absolutely got too much penetration. Ziggy Hood was pushing back in there. Alu was back there. Puzlesny's jumping in over the top.
He ran right into Greco.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because Greco got pushed back, obviously could not get any movement. But I was thinking at the intermission we might see a little bit more aggressive play call on that one. Knowing that Jacksonville has been playing the run so hard, why would you not want to take a shot to the end zone?
They're leaving. Looks like they're leaving their offense on the field right here as well on a 4th and very short. I don't agree with that. I think you take the points. You're 6 points up. Make it a 2-possession game. You're going into halftime. I don't like it.
I agree percentage-wise, but at the same time, your defense has been shutting down Jacksonville pretty good. But I think you take the points here too.
Browns are 2 for 4 on 4th downs this year. 4th and 1. Play action to Tate. Hoyer in trouble. Throws towards Cameron. Juggled and incomplete.
Yeah, and there you go. And that's the reason.
Geno Hayes broke that one up. Will Blackman also on the coverage.
Well, you know what you're seeing also, though, is that even if you do try to deceive in 4th and short and go with the play action, Jacksonville is being very disciplined and playing good football with their eyes. They're looking at their keys, and they're not jumping on that hard play action. Very good defensive performance.
That's because it's 4th down. If you're going to gamble, you should have gambled on 3rd down.
I agree.
When they're going to play more, they're going to jump in there and try and stop that run game. Yeah, 3rd down is when you should have done that. You should have taken the 3 points.
Would have been a 42-yard field goal. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. They have 1 timeout remaining. Bortles, pump fakes. Now throws and finds Robinson at the 40-yard line for a Jacksonville 1st down.
That was a great job by Robinson, finding a space. He saw Bortles out of the pocket and moved to the sideline in between 2 defenders and made himself available. Perfect job by Robinson.
Jed Fish told us yesterday that Bortles has looked his best in the 2-minute offense. Let's see how he runs it here. 1 timeout, 1:15 to go. Bortles has plenty of time. Now rushed out to the right, wide open is Clay Harbor. At the 45, cuts it back into Cleveland territory. Harbor slides down at the 36-yard line.
They forgot all about him. Harbor was out there by himself, and they're going to go hurry up. And that was a completely blown coverage, and it was aided by Bortles' ability to extend the play.
And he gets to ad-lib a lot more in this 2-minute situation, and it's usually a very simple package. He looks very comfortable.
Kruger jump, flag is down, free play for Jacksonville, and that pass is incomplete along the sideline, but Kruger jumped off sides.
Offside. Defense number 99 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
And you see here how wide open Harbor ends up and how Bortles moves out and sees him. Look, there's nobody around him. He just forgot about him.
And now you see the strength and the ability of Blake Bortles. So that's what he does. He wants to stand in the pocket and make plays, but he's more than athletic enough to extend plays and hurt you with that arm when the play kind of breaks down.
1 timeout left for the Jags, 36 seconds on the clock. Protection is good. Bortles slings it to the right. Another 1st down. Robinson stayed on his feet. Robinson at the 10. 5. Touchdown.
Should have kicked the field goal.
First touchdown of Allen Robinson's career. Whitner and Screen missed tackles, and Jacksonville is an extra point away from taking the lead.
Well, Andrew, you made a great call on the fact that Bortles just has had success in the 2-minute situation. He was 3 of 3 on this drive for 71 yards. looked totally under control, not overwhelmed by the moment, even coming back off that terrible interception. Looked like he was very excited to get a chance to make up for it, and he sure did.
I'll tell you what, I've seen this happen before. Quarterback starts to do some things well, and I'll tell you, if I'm Jacksonville, I don't run anything but the 2-minute offense because it's so difficult. Blake Bortles looks so much better. They struggled the entire first half until that last 2-minute drive. I come out and run the 2-minute for the entire second half, and I keep doing it until we can start to branch out into other things of our offense. Jim Kelly, who went to the Hall of Fame running the no huddle because he was good at it. They never asked him to do anything else. He went to 4 Super Bowls in the Hall of Fame because of it. Blake Bortles has that same mojo working now in that offense. I think they should stick with that package more and more and more.
This touchdown under review, as all scoring plays are. I just want to make sure Robinson stayed on his feet. And, just to follow up on that, Steve, we asked, as the touchdown is good, we asked Jed Fish, well, if that's when Bortles is at his best, why not do it more? And his response was, it's not really Bortles that he's worried about. It's the rookie wide receivers. He doesn't want to put too much on their plate.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
But I agree with you, Steve, that this is the best Jacksonville has looked when they've gone to this 2-minute offense, so why not keep trying it?
Well, my response is, how does Bortles look good unless his receivers are looking just as good?
Sure.
Now, and we said it in the open that he needed some help from these wide receivers, and we saw Robinson break loose on the first one when very early in this series after they took over after the blown 4th down. Robinson made himself available. Bortles found him, first down, and then it got the drive off, started off right.
Another key, though, from Bortles' standpoint, and when you go into a 2-minute situation, you've got about 5 or 6 plays that you only are able to run in those situations. You know those plays like the back of your hand, and you also know you can extend the play by moving around if you need to.
Extra point is good. Jacksonville has the lead. Let's take a look at that last touchdown from high above. And Snoopy 2.
You're not going to believe from this angle how open Clay Harbor is. Don't know exactly why everyone. Oh, the touchdown. I'm talking about the big play before. That was my fault. But Marshall, yeah, good strong throw from Blake Bortles right there.
Well, you can see why
Allen Robinson.
You can see why it gets him into trouble. He can make a throw like that. You know why he threw that other interception, trying to thread the needle over the top in the middle.
That's a major milestone for Blake Bortles, the 5th touchdown pass of his career. So he's now passed Steve Berline on the Jaguars' all-time list. You were tied with 4.
God, I thought I was going to hang on to it a little bit longer than that.
I'm really sorry.
It's amazing.
It's a piece of history going away today. Wow.
Well, he's already held on to the starting quarterback position longer than I did. I held it for 2.5 quarters.
Oh, boy.
Piece of Jaguar history.
However, I did build this house, though.
You did.
This is the house that Berline built.
Yeah.
And the good news for you is that you were tied in interceptions with 7 each, but his 2 picks now, you still got him in the picks department, Steve.
You might have built this house, but you didn't put the pools in.
I did not. I did not.
Well, coming up on the Verizon halftime report, we'll have scores and highlights from around the league and also a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Browns have 1 timeout remaining and 27 seconds left. Marlon Moore wants to take this one out. At the 10, or at the 20, and he's tackled at the 23-yard line. All right, so what do you do here if you're the Browns? You take a knee and run to the locker room, or you try to make something happen here with 1 timeout?
I think you take a knee here. I think Mike Pettin probably does regret making the call that he did. I think, Steve, you were 100% right. It was the right percentage call to make. He wanted to take a chance, I think, and now he's really regretting it. And right now, if you got a frustration, you try to make something happen, only bad things can happen, I think, with 22 seconds left. There's no reason to try and get the ball 50 yards up the field to get a shot at a field goal.
Sends out 3 receivers. Now Tate will go in motion to the bottom of your screen. Boyer wants to throw, and that one is batted down. Ryan Davis got his hand on that one. 18 seconds remain.
Yeah, and you look at it, and even if Jacksonville was able to put a 2-minute drive together from their own 20 and have the same result, you'd still have the lead if you kick that field goal. And I know that's something that Mike Pettin's going to look at this game and think that's where he can get better. No question he wanted to show faith in his team and his offense.
Now they're just going to run it to Tate. And he's tripped up at the 30-yard line. Late flag comes in with 11 seconds remaining.
Holding. Offense, number 16. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's on Hawkins. The only good news for the Browns here is they have shown that they're a second-half team this year. Their point differential is plus 40 in the second half, which is number 1 in the NFL. However, the Jaguars, after deferring the opening toss, will get the ball to start the second half.
And you can bet that Mike Pettine's going to go in with that mentality. Hey, we've been a second-half team all year. No reason why we can't do it again today.
Yeah, no question that the Browns, and you can credit Mike Pettin and his coaching staff, they are a second-half team because they make outstanding adjustments and his players execute those adjustments.
Nice ovation from the fans here in Jacksonville. The Jaguars have a 7-6 lead. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS. Part of the third quarter in Jacksonville, the Jaguars have a 7-6 lead. Back in the booth with the Steves, Berline and Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan. You look at Cleveland, very sluggish offensively in that first half, just 54 yards rushing and 1 of 6 on third downs.
Actually, it's been brutal for the Cleveland Browns, and it's because they have not been able to get that run game going. Brian Hoyer's only 8 of 21 in the first half. That is not what they're looking for out of this offense, out of Brian Hoyer. They're not used to seeing it, but it does start with their inability to run the football, and so we'll see if they can make those adjustments. Not impressive offensively for them, though.
And Steve Tasker, the Jaguars started very slow, but got a little momentum there at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, and it started with Blake Bortles and his ability to throw the football. Now, he threw a couple of interceptions, one of which Steve Berline and I thought was not his fault. He got hit as he threw it. It didn't turn in, but then he did throw one into Gibson. Now, that Gibson caught both the interceptions, but then late in the first half, they went to the 2-minute in the last drive, hit Clay Harbor on a busted coverage, and then, as we said in the open, Bortles needed his wide receiver to step up, and of course, right there, Allen Robinson breaks loose for the big play that gives them the lead.
A look at the first half numbers. Browns only able to score 3 points off the 2 Jacksonville turnovers, and the Jaguars will have the ball to start the second half. As we mentioned late in the first half, though, Cleveland, a second half team, they've outscored their opponents 77-37 this year in the second half. That point differential is number 1 in the NFL.
And they've only given up on average 7.4 points per game in the second half. So their defense, although playing very well today to this point, has always played well in the second half.
Todman will let this bounce, and it's a touchback. All right, let's take a look at the second half adjustments for you guys.
Well, we kind of hit on it a little bit. With Cleveland, they are a running team, and they have got to stick with that run. I have no doubt Kyle Shanahan will do that, but they've got to find a way to stay out of these 3rd and longs. As you said, they're only 2 of 9 on third down. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, and of course, on the other side, we talked about in that last 2-minute drill, spread the Cleveland Brown defense out and go fast tempo. I think they had their most success in the first half as they closed out the half getting the lead. If they can continue to do that here in the third quarter, they could win.
Jacksonville starts this half on the ground with Denard Robinson, who gets 3 yards. Desmond Bryant makes the tackle for the Browns. Cleveland trying to win its 3rd straight game. If they go to 4-2, it would be their best record through 6 games since 2007. Back to Robinson on 2nd and 7. He's stacked up. Kruger and Hughes throw him back. As we take a look at the standings in the AFC North, and such a competitive division. Cleveland already split the season series with the Steelers. And they've got Cincinnati coming up in a few weeks. So they go Jacksonville, Oakland, Tampa Bay. Combined record of the next 3 opponents, including this one for the Browns, 1-16. They have a chance to be 6-2 going into that Thursday nighter against the Bengals. Right now, big 3rd and 7 for Jacksonville. And Bortles has to use an early timeout. Just over a minute into the second half, and Bortles is forced to call timeout.
Well, he saw something. It caused uncertainty, and that's not unusual in a young quarterback. The Cleveland Brown defense jumped into a pretty exotic look right before the timeout, and Bortles said better to take a timeout than do something dumb.
You can access all of today's football action on the go. Just download the award-winning CBS Sports app right now for instant scores, breaking news, video, and more. It's all on your phone.
This is a Cleveland Browns team, Andrew, that did start off last year at 3-2, and the result from that point forward was absolutely horrific. They went 1-10 from that point forward last year. Obviously, they do not want to repeat anything close to that this year.
3rd down and 7 following the timeout. Bortles with time, now in trouble, and he is spun down. Carlos Dansby with his 3rd sack of the season.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a coverage sack as Bortles steps up and watch. This is Cecil Shorts coming across, and he's covered. Jim Leonard following him all the way across, and the pressure as Bortles steps up through. Dansby is going to grab him just as he tries to step away. Dansby almost really shadowing Bortles. He didn't really blitz, but he didn't really rush either.
28th sack allowed this year by the Jaguars. That's the most in the NFL. Hoyer from the 30. He's tackled at the 36-yard line. Good job by the Browns defensively to force a 3-and-out, and they also forced Jacksonville to take a timeout. A blimp shot of the pool. How about that? Crazy world today. 1st and 10 for the Browns. 13-10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Browns defense did a good job to force that 3-and-out. Hoyer to the air on 1st down. Has time, looking deep for Gabriel. He got tangled up with Gratz, no call.
It was double moves on both sides. Kyle Shanahan wanted to take a shot deep to open up this second half drive, and both Gratz and Alan Ball did a super job not biting on the fake.
Well, look at that. That's a run power formation. That's a hard play fake right there. And watch right at the bottom of your screen the hard double move. Great, well defended at both ends of the play by Jacksonville.
Hoyer's 8 for 22. The pitch to Tate running left. A lot of traffic over there and not much doing for Ben Tate. Another 3rd and long coming for the Browns.
Yeah, more of the same for the Cleveland Browns, trying to run on 2nd down, hoping they can get the Jaguars in pass mode, pick up at least half of that 2nd and 10, but Jacksonville rising to the occasion up front as they have done all day today, swarming to that football. Ben Tate had nowhere to go.
No Alex Mack, and again Paul McQuiston, the new right guard. Cleveland 2 for 9 on 3rd downs. Hoyer hit, lost the football.
It's a fumble.
That's a live ball.
This is a live ball.
Puzlesny picks it up. And Puzlesny is down at the 25-yard line. The pressure came from Telvin Smith, and no one on the Browns went after the football.
Speed kills off the edge. You're going to see Telvin Smith off the left side of your screen, bringing it off he's the rookie, 5th-round draft choice. All people talk about when you talk about Telvin Smith is speed. There was nobody fast enough to get out there and match that. And there you have what happens. Speed kills, right?
And that looks like a live ball to me. And we saw Tony Corrente immediately threw his beanbag on the ground, not his flag. And the beanbag signifies a fumble.
That's amazing.
There's no whistle.
No whistle. That's why we played the audio for you. It will be reviewed because it is a turnover. We'll come back with the verdict right after this. Let's check in with New York, our officiating expert, Mike Carey. What'd you see here, Mike?
Well, this is what we call an empty hand. As the hand comes forward, the ball is already rolling off the back of it. This will be confirmed as a fumble and recovery.
Well, there you have
Right
it.
there you see the hand, is before it starts to come forward, the ball is rolling off the back of it. Empty hand.
And Tony Corrente was right on it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Fumble, recovery by Jacksonville, 1st down.
All right, we thank Mike Carey. Just the 3rd turnover this season by the Cleveland Browns. They came in tied for the fewest in the league with the San Diego Chargers. Now let's see if Jacksonville can capitalize off the Hoyer fumble. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
380.
Shorts in motion at the top of your screen. Bortles rolls that way. Fires towards Shorts, and it's broken up. Good coverage by Buster Screen, getting a hand in there.
This was outstanding coverage. Watch his screen, comes and breaks on this football, gets his hand in, perfectly defended, grabs the arm, pulls it down. Can't do it any better than that.
Going back to that turnover, that was Jacksonville, only their 5th turnover of the year. And you look at Cleveland, they only had 2 turnovers coming into this game. Good move for Jacksonville, not common for Cleveland.
Robinson on second down. I saw that graphic a moment ago. Cleveland, the only team in the league that has not allowed a point off a turnover this year. Of course, this is just their 3rd turnover of the season, but the Browns have done such a good job of protecting the football this year and limiting the damage after the turnovers, and immediately the Browns defense puts Jacksonville in a 3rd and 8.
And we spoke to Mike Pettin earlier in the season before they'd even had a single turnover. He said, I know we're going to turn it over at some point. I want to see how we're going to respond when we do.
Now on 3rd downs, Bortles targets Allen Robinson 35% of the time. That's the highest on the team. So keep an eye on number 15 here for the Jaguars. Jacksonville 1 for 7 on 3rd downs. Bortles fires to Hearns at the 20, gets away from 1 and gets the 1st down. Great effort by the rookie Allen Hearns.
Allen Hearns, another undrafted free agent playing here, just doing what he does. He seems to consistently make plays. He's the leading touchdown scorer for the Jacksonville Jaguars with 3 receptions. Right there, a nice 3rd down conversion, tiptoeing down the sideline.
Buster Screen's got to make that tackle. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for the Jaguars at the 15-yard line. First time they've been in the red zone today. And just the 10th time this season, Jacksonville has entered the red zone, 2nd fewest in the league. Only Oakland has been in the red zone fewer times. Bortles trips, stays on his feet, completes it to Harbor, who's tackled at the 13-yard line by Robertson.
And I still think Jacksonville, they're going to huddle up here, but now they're going to go muddle huddle. I still think the tempo is the one thing that gives Jacksonville an edge. They seem more comfortable in it. Bortles seems to see the field better, and they seem to be more productive.
Bortles just threw that away, and it looked like right off the snap it was a botched play.
You look at it now. You and I are looking at each other. That's probably why they don't go no huddle a lot. That was a total bust on a play.
Well, you got so many young players out there on the field. Looked like none of them knew what they were doing on that play.
That's right.
Blake Bortles was by himself running out there. No receivers coming his way. Nowhere to go with the football.
And they made the play fake the opposite way they should have. Everything was wrong on that one.
There's an injured Jaguar. That's the center, Luke Bowenko, the rookie out of Virginia. So the Jaguar staff attending to Bowenko, the 6th-round pick this year. Entered the starting lineup week 3 and has started every game since. We'll come back to Jacksonville in a moment. Bowenko walked off to the Jaguars sideline where they're attending to him, and now the backup center, Jacques McClendon, comes into the game. He started the first 2 weeks of the season before giving way to Bowenko, and I'm sure Cleveland will be challenging him right away. Big 3rd down and 7 here for the Jaguars.
Again, this Cleveland team pretty darn good in the red zone, ranking tied for 7th in the NFL. They've been very stingy getting down to this part of the field.
From the 12-yard line. Bortles. Bad pass to the fullback Talfoa, and it falls incomplete. And Josh Scobie, the kicker, will come onto the field for the Jaguars.
Well, that was a combination of things. I think Talfoa knew there was someone coming full speed, ready to hit him. I think Blake Bortles was trying to fool the defense, looking hard to his left, but good discipline shown right there. Buster Screen in position to make the play. You could see Talfoa was just did not want to be running full with any head of steam on that.
So a 30-yard field goal try for Josh Scobie, who's 6 out of 9 on the season. 55-yarder last week in the final seconds in Tennessee was blocked. And this one is good. So off the turnover, the Jaguars score 3 points. The first time this season that Cleveland has allowed points off of a turnover.
Well, I'll tell you, That ball should have been blocked. There's no excuse for this field goal not being blocked. Show him, Steve.
Right here, you're going to get full penetration. Kruger is going to sneak through there, and that's Jabal Sheard, and he kicked it to his side and behind him. He went too far through. Completely missed it. Jabal Sheard ran right by the kick.
I think the ball went underneath his armpit.
Oh, my goodness. You just don't expect that you're going to come through that clean, and Sheard, he kicked it right
underneath his arm.
Went underneath his arm. And that is fortuitous for the Jaguars.
Wow.
So 3 points off the turnover, first time this season that Cleveland's allowed points off the turnover. It's a 10-6 game with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Marlon Moore back deep, winning the kick from Scobie. 73% of Scobie's kickoffs this year have gone for touchbacks. That's his highest percentage in his 11-year career. And chalk up another for Scobie. Well, next Sunday, the NFL on CBS dials up a doubleheader. First, the Seahawks and Panthers square off, and then the Colts battle the Steelers. Check your local listings. It all begins with JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today. So let's see how the Browns respond off the turnover. Brian Hoyer, 8 out of 22 for 88 yards and the lost fumble on their first drive in this half. Still just 55 rushing yards for the Browns today. They average 146 per game. That's third in the NFL. Crowell, the running back here on first down. Hoyer's pass, and not on the same page with Miles Austin.
This is the second time today that Miles Austin and Hoyer have not been on the same page. It's ended up in an incompletion and a bad throw by Hoyer, or at least a bad-looking play.
I think there was some pressure inside again, too. Ziggy Hood shot through and flashed right in front of Brian Hoyer's face. I think it rushed him a little bit as well.
Crowell on 2nd and 10 has a little bit of room to run, and he is marked down at the 31. That's good for a first down.
Well, I think that Crowell, to me, and Kyle Shanahan told us that they don't know who they're going to be featuring as a running back until the game gets going. Wilbur Montgomery kind of goes with his gut feel, and they try to see which guy seems to have the best flow going this day, or that particular day. Today, to me, it seems like Crowell is running the ball the best.
Hoyer's pass is deflected. We'll go back to New York and update with JP and Tony Gonzalez.
Tony likes this Colts tight end.
Yes, I do, JB. Right here, you can see Andrew Luckey's going to hit Dwayne Allen. Look at him catch the ball outside the framework of his body. Races up the sideline for the 32-yard touchdown. Indy is up 17-0.
Back to Andrew Catalan.
Thank you, JB. And Jacksonville has called a timeout. And that's their second timeout of this half. So the rest of the way, the Jaguars only have one timeout remaining.
That's the exact problem they had last week. Last week it wasn't because they had to waste timeouts. It's because they made a couple of challenges. Gus Bradley, by ill-advised, and we talked to him yesterday. He said, yeah, they were ill-advised, but he didn't have time. Really, there was a couple of things that went into it, but yeah, he acknowledged that he had to be better on his challenges. That cost him timeouts last week, and now they come out and their defense was confused as Paul Posluszny, you see right in the middle, 51, trying to get things done, and he can't get them lined up, and he has to call the timeout. And I'll tell you, it's rare for a defensive player to call a timeout. It's usually left up completely to the coaching staff.
Crowell, and he is cut down by the Jaguars. This Jacksonville run defense has been very impressive today.
And we talked about, I said I think Crowell's been running the ball the best. Well, he's only had 3 carries right there. Looked like what we've been seeing all day. Great pursuit. Good job at the point of attack by the front 4 of the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. And then that pursuit coming backside has always been there to clean up today.
Another 3rd and long for the Browns. They are 2 for 10 on 3rd downs today. And this place comes to life here, rooting on the Jaguars. Hoyer Nearly intercepted. Telvin Smith had both hands on it and could not pick it off, but the Jacksonville defense forces another punt.
Telvin Smith has got to make this play. I mean, Brian Hoyer, the only excuse I have for him is that he didn't see him. He wasn't under tremendous pressure, but that ball should never have been thrown. I think Telvin Smith got so much width on his drop that he was out of Brian Hoyer's vision. That ball, very, very fortunate for the Cleveland Browns. That ball wasn't picked off.
Fifth punt for Spencer Lanning. Ace Sanders awaiting the kick at the 20. Good kick by Lanning. Sanders, back to the 10. Sanders still on his feet, and that tackled at the 30-yard line. 8:26 to go, third quarter. Jaguars lead 10-6. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. It's been 239 passes since the last time Jacksonville had an interception. Telvin Smith nearly had one there, but Jacksonville only has one interception on the year. That was the second quarter of week 1 when Alan Ball picked off Nick Foles. Marquise Lee, and he can't get away from Jabal Sheard. Chris Kirksey also in on the tackle for the Browns.
That's a hustle play by that defensive front. Jabal Sheard getting out there to help along with Carlos Dansby. They tried to get to the edge once again to Jacksonville, and they just wouldn't have any of it. I mean, that's a play. You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They've seen it once before today. It's not going to work again.
That's the kind of play that you can see coming and anticipate it. You're going to get one good one out of it. Probably any time other than that, you're asking for a little too much.
A 5-receiver set for Jacksonville on 2nd and 10. Bortles to Ace Sanders. He's quickly tackled. Kirksey and Gibson wrapping them up, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Well, that was just a quick slant thrown right behind the defensive lineman, rushing in there. And almost, I mean, you talk about a tight window to throw the football into. I think it was one of those middle screens, actually, receiver coming down the line trying to get him behind the lineman. Very well played again by Cleveland on defense.
Just the 3rd catch of the season for Ace Sanders. It's 3rd and 10 for Jacksonville.
Mike's 30, Mike's 30, go! 380, Mike's 58, Mike's 58!
5 on the play clock. Bortles steps up, feeling the heat, goes down! 2nd sack today for the Cleveland defense. And it's Chris Kirksey with his 2nd sack of the year.
Well, as Bortles knows, he drops back. You can hear him calling out the protection. Everybody rushes the passer, and Cecil Shorts comes wide open, and Bortles can't find him. They've got guys open down the field, but the pressure is too much as Bortles steps up in the pocket. I don't know why he didn't throw that.
He got caught up in it. It was another one of those crazy, exotic looks that Cleveland was doing. He's not comfortable with what he's seeing out of that defensive front. He couldn't see what was going on up the field.
23rd 3-and-out for the Jags this season, tied for the most in the NFL. Poyer with the fair catch at the 33. 6:22 to go, 3rd quarter, and Jacksonville leads Cleveland 10-6. Brian Hoyer is 0 for 4 this quarter, and for the game, he's 8 out of 25. Fake it to Tate. Hoyer on the move. Throws, and it goes off the hands of Hawkins. Incomplete.
Well, Hawkins has got to make this catch. This ball is well thrown by Brian Hoyer. He's got the defense with their backs to him just like he wanted. That ball went right through his hands. Very well thrown. It's a play that the Browns needed Hawkins to make at this point in the ball game.
9 straight incompletions for Brian Hoyer. Tate across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Let's go back to one of the batted balls that Brian Hoyer has thrown today.
Well, as a quarterback, you're looking for lanes to throw the football. And you can see Brian Hoyer right now is looking through. He sees a big lane. What he doesn't account for is the big left arm of Derek Marks to come up and bat this ball down before he can get it to a wide open Miles Austin. That's what these linemen are told to do. Get the hands up if you can't get to the quarterback.
3rd down and 6. Hoyer throws, incomplete. Looking for Hawkins again. And the Browns are now 2 for 12 on third downs today.
Well, Jonathan Cyprien, the safety, we spoke about him in the open. He's going to be called upon to do a lot of things, and he passes off Benjamin and holds on to Hawkins as a secondary assignment. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. That's what confused Hoyer. Threw it into a guy he thought was open, but Cyprien slipped off the first receiver and covered the play.
Lanning averaging 52 yards per punt in this one, as long as 59. That one nearly blocked by Leroy Reynolds. Sanders at the 10. And he gets across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Well, tomorrow on CBS, see why critics are saying the new hit drama Scorpion has some real sting. Don't miss a new episode tomorrow at 9/8 Central, only CBS.
You know, I think you got to give a lot of credit to defensive coordinator Bob Babbage for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Boy, they've done a super job of just anticipating exactly what Kyle Shanahan and this Cleveland Browns offense is trying to do. They've been frustrated all day. You said 2 of 12, Andrew, on third down. That's the best reflection of how well they're playing.
Green inside. Back to pocket.
Mingo raced offside. Flag is down, and now they're going to blow it dead. It was Mingo who jumped. But was he provoked? That's the question.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, listen to Bortles as he does this cadence. You'll see if he calls a play after he sees him jump. Yeah, it looked like he tried to call for it real quickly, knowing they would get a free play. He thought he had a free play out of it.
Instead, it's a free 5 yards, 1st and 5. Bortles on the keeper himself. He can run, and he's got the first down. Last week in Tennessee, Blake Bortles was Jacksonville's leading rusher. Today, Denard Robinson has done the bulk of it, but Bortles, that ability to scramble makes him tough to stop.
And that's the read option. You saw right there, he's faking, he's putting the ball on the belly of Denard Robinson for sure, and he saw Barkevius Mingo crash down to make the tackle. He pulls it out and keeps it, picks up a nice game.
Bortles averaged 6.6 yards per carry this season. Only Russell Wilson with more among quarterbacks in the NFL. And we have seen a more focused effort today on Jacksonville to run the football. So many times, Blake Bortles last week threw 46 times. They know they can't do that, and they've got a nice little boost today from Robinson.
Well, Robinson is the reason. I mean, 14 carries for 77 yards gives you the confidence that you can keep handing it off and getting some production, because before that, they were getting nothing out of their running game. Today, there's not so negative plays, so many negative plays.
20 rushes, 23 passes. This will be the 24th. Bortles wants to go deep, throwing into triple coverage, incomplete.
That's going to be offensive.
Comes in late.
Offensive pass
But it could be on
interference.
Cecil Shorts.
Yeah, and that's a good penalty by Cecil Shorts. He did not want to allow this ball to be intercepted.
Pass interference, offense, number 84.
Right there, you see,
he said, no, you are not catching this ball, Dante Whitner.
Yeah, Dante Whitner got bear hugged from behind as he started to draw a bead on that. It's not a bad penalty by Shorts, because it gives you at least one more try to pick up a first down, even though it's going to end up being a third and about 16.
Shorts, a Cleveland native, went to Collinwood High School, big Browns fan growing up. Some of his favorite players were Dennis Northcutt and Braylon Edwards, and he's got about 40 people in attendance here, cousins, aunts, uncles, and friends who made the trip to see the Browns take on the Jaguars. He says parents are diehard Browns fans. Screen pass to Todman with room to run. First down for Jacksonville. Jordan Todman slips at the 47, but a gain at 26 and a first down for the Jaguars.
Well, what a great call, and even better execution. You're going to see Todman. He's going to just slip out over to this side and watch the lineman get out in front of him and catch that football, turn it up inside. Super job. Play call for that situation by Jed Fish, and execution by the players on the field.
And one of the linemen down the field blocking is Luke Bowenko, the center who went out earlier in this quarter, back in there. Denard Robinson with a nifty run. And he's knocked out at the 40-yard line after a gain of 13. Another Jacksonville first down.
I mean, here you got a Jacksonville team who hasn't won a game all year, and you go back to some of the mistakes and the drop passes that they've had. Here they've got something going in. They took a penalty by Cecil Shorts, a good penalty on a pass interference a couple of plays ago, and it ends up now 1st and 10 going in from the 40.
Bortles to Shorts, and Buster Screen tosses him out of bounds. How about Denard Robinson today, guys? He's got 15 carries for 90 yards. The entire season, he's had 94 yards rushing total. He's about to surpass that total in 3 quarters.
Well, that's impressive, and I think you give credit to everybody across the board. Jed Fish admitted they needed to get the run game more active, more like they wanted to ever take the next step as an offense. Against a banged-up defensive front for Cleveland, they're doing a great job today.
Green and shot.
Play action. Bortles. Pass is deflected at the line and incomplete. It brings up 3rd down.
This is Jacoby McDaniel doing this, just activated today, this week. That's the first play he's made this season.
Yeah, promoted off the practice squad yesterday. Rookie out of Florida State comes up with a big play. But now it's 3rd and 7 with 3:02 to go, 3rd quarter. Jaguars 2 for 10 on 3rd downs today.
Down. Green eight. Green and shot.
Bortles keeps it himself, trying to get to the outside. He does! Bortles down the sideline and runs out of bounds close to the 15-yard line. A gain of 17 and a gutsy call there by Jed Fish on 3rd down.
This is that read option again. Watch Blake Bortles. He's reading the defensive end down there. He sees nothing in front of him but green grass. He knows if he pulls that ball, he can get to the edge and pick up a big 1st down. They had no run support outside on that play. Blake Bortles took advantage of it.
128 yards rushing, nearly double their average on the year. 2nd time in the red zone today for the Jaguars. Bortles to the end zone to Shorts, incomplete diving attempt, but could not bring it in.
Well, let's take a look at this as Bortles is going to throw this right through your TV screen. Shorts coming across, and this is one you just got to connect on. That much they missed the touchdown. Great route by Shorts. They had the right pattern called against the right coverage. Shorts ran the perfect route. You see Bortles tap him on the head, saying, man, we got to hit that. That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, he's got to give. He didn't even need to make a great throw. He just needed to put it somewhere catchable, and Shorts would have had a touchdown.
Green and shot.
Robinson up the middle. And he gets the 10-yard line, excuse me, the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Kitchen makes the tackle for the Browns.
This has been a really productive, really great drive for Jacksonville. They overcame the long 3rd and 16 and managed to sustain this drive. Now Bortles has carried the football a couple of times, and now the Cleveland defense doesn't look quite so sure of itself. And I think now is when the depth of the injuries that we spoke about in the open is really taking its toll.
On 3rd and 5, Bortles out of the gun, steps up, throws, and it's picked off! Intercepted by Buster Screen! That is the 3rd interception today for the Cleveland defense.
I really don't know what Blake Bortles was thinking other than he wasn't thinking. He is a young quarterback. He has such a good drive going here, running the ball. He could have kept this ball and run and picked up the 1st down. Look at that. If he runs straight ahead, he's going to pick up the 1st down easily. Not sure why he decided to make a decision to throw this football into, especially at this point, this deep in the red zone, and a receiver who is covered. Very, very poor decision by Blake Bortles right there.
First time in his career he's thrown 3 interceptions in a game, and for Buster Screen, he's now got an interception in back-to-back games. Browns pinned back at the 11-yard line. 1:37 to go, 3rd quarter. Hoyer, play action, has plenty of time, over the middle, dumps it off, and that is Crowell, the running back, making the catch. Tackle immediately made by Pusluzny. Bortles sitting next to Chad Henne, who started the season as the Jaguars' starting quarterback, and Henne has really served as a mentor to Bortles. And Bortles needs to regroup. His third interception today. Hoyer to Crowell, and he dives forward. J.T. Thomas was right there. And now the Browns staring at a third down with 1 minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, now on the reverse side of what we just spoke about, the Jacksonville Jaguars bring in a fresh new defensive line, new rushers against an offensive line that still has to stay out there. They're gassed. Now the depth of the defensive front of Jacksonville comes to the forefront on this third down.
Over the middle, Austin wheels it in for a first down. A gain of 19 for Miles Austin, and now Brian Hoyer wants a little tempo here with this Browns offense.
Well, they've got to get some tempo. That was a great job of Brian Hoyer standing strong in the pocket, making a good decision, accurate throw.
Hoyer back to the air, pump fakes, now throws. Along the sideline, Gabriel makes the catch. Was he inbounds? Yes! Great grab along the sideline by Taylor Gabriel, and that is the final play of the third quarter. Jacksonville leads 10-6. We're back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. What a catch by Taylor Gabriel to close out that third quarter.
Oh, no doubt. You see he gets that second foot, that right foot down in. Way to sell out Taylor Gabriel, and great throw by Brian Hoyer.
First and 10 for the Browns to start the fourth. Hoyer chased by Marks, gets away from him. Hoyer now looking deep, and it's short and incomplete. He was trying to connect with Gabriel again.
This is one that, if it wasn't for the pressure on the heels of Brian Hoyer from Senderick Marks right there, I think Hoyer might have been able to gather himself a little more quickly and deliver an accurate ball. He just got out of his rhythm coming outside, couldn't get that ball to Taylor Gabriel.
Gabriel had a step on McCray. Crowell on the carry to the 45 and lunges forward to the 42-yard line. Puzluzny makes the tackle.
Well, you look at it again, you'll see from above that, as you said, Andrew, Taylor Gabriel is going to come open on this play. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to go back and show that replay. That was a great running play off the left side.
They got 5 yards. It's 3rd and 5. Hoyer to the sideline, incomplete. Hawkins had a good look at that one and could not make the catch, and some frustration now for Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, now they're going to have to punt it away again. And it looks as though, that mojo, second half mojo that the Browns have depended on so many times this season has not shown up today. Their defense has played pretty well, getting a turnover and stopping them. Uh-oh, now we've got,
now they're changing.
Look at this, here we go.
Like a hockey line change here. 15 on the play clock. Now the Jaguars are trying to get their defense back out on the field. Remember, Jacksonville only has 1 timeout remaining. Puzluzny barely has his helmet buckled on this play.
Yeah, and now the officials will hold the ball to allow the defense to do that, but they're still not ready.
Hoyer.
Oh,
Flag is down in the secondary. Hoyer runs the option to Tate. What a disaster that turned into.
It's as though now they've got a penalty in the secondary. It's going to be too many men or...
Yeah, the flag is all the way back at the 23-yard line.
This is going to have nothing to do with the play that happened. It's going to have to do with the alignment or the substitution.
There is no foul. As for the defense, it was the 11th player who did not get off the field. Therefore, on downs, the ball goes to Jacksonville. First down.
Wow.
How can you make a play like that as Cleveland with the mass substitution and then not have a play ready to run?
Or just try to draw them off sides and take the delayed game and punt it away.
That was a complete debacle. You can see Jacksonville trying to get off the field. They ended up playing with only 10 people, but Cleveland had no idea really what they were trying to accomplish there. You saw everybody just kind of stand up when the ball was snapped to Hoyer. I think it's inexcusable by Mike Pettin as the head coach to let that play materialize.
And it was Puzluzny who barely had buckled his helmet. that made the tackle on that play. So Jacksonville gets the ball back at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
Wyoming extra, Wyoming extra. Mike 56. Delta, Delta, Delta.
2 on the play clock. Whitner coming with the blitz. Robinson. And he gets a yard on the play. Craig Robertson makes the tackle. Now that's 2 times now. Mike Pettin decided to go for it on 4th down, didn't put the points on the board, and now this 4th down play backfires as well.
I think it was a mistake on the offensive line. The body language of Brian Hoyer after the play says to me he was not supposed to snap that ball at all. The ball was not supposed to be snapped.
Look at all the guys standing there.
Nobody thought there was going to be a play ran. They were going to try and draw him off sides or get him to call that last time out. Brian Hoyer, after that play was over and done, was on the field. He turned around and looked at Greco like, what are you doing? So I don't think there was actually supposed to be a play called, which is why nobody had a play to run.
And it makes sense, and we won't know until we hear from Mike Pettin after the game what the problem was right there, but that's the only thing that makes sense, to send the whole offense out there in a 4th and 4 situation and everybody to stand there when the ball was snapped. I think it was supposed to be a no play. Greco, though, as a never-before-been center, snapped the ball when he wasn't supposed to.
Denard Robinson slowly walked off the field after that last play, so it's Storm Johnson at running back here on the carry, and he gets across midfield. Storm Johnson, the 7th-round pick out of Central Florida, college teammates with Blake Bortles.
And this Jacksonville Jaguar team, as now Todman comes into the football game, they have struggled to find anybody to carry the load. Now, as we said, Toby Gerhart out once again this week with a high ankle. They thought he would be the bell cow. It has not turned out that way, and they've been really running back by committee, and that committee has been defunct. They have not been able to get it going until today.
3rd down and 4 as Todman goes in motion to the top of your screen. Bortles fires right. Pass is caught by Robinson right at the stick, and he's got a 1st down. Allen Robinson is by far Blake Bortles' favorite target on 3rd down. They convert another one here.
Well, one of the things we've seen still again this week out of Jacksonville is a little bit of reluctance to push the ball up the field. That right there, good throw and catch. But Cleveland is all over those short passes right now.
Hey, Husky book! Husky book! Husky book! Hard, hard, hard!
Do you like the tempo here for the Jags, or would you try to run a little clock? Which actually they are doing with 10 on the play clock. Bortles read option, he spins away! Blake Bortles just spun right out of the tackle of Paul Kruger.
Well, Blake Bortles has made some mistakes today, but he's also made some great plays. This is one of them. Watch Kruger right here just whiff on the quarterback. Now, the guys will pat Bortles on the back in films tomorrow for that. Yep. And that's a nice 6-yard gain by the quarterback. But as good as he's played today, he's also made some mistakes, but his defense has bailed him out.
Mike 53, Mike 53, down!
Denard Robinson back into the game for the Jaguars. And he gets the call here. Flag is down in the backfield. And that could be holding against Jacksonville.
Holding, offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's the rookie tight end Nick Jacobs called for holding.
And that's a killer right there, too, because you work so hard to get yourself in that 2nd and short situation. You got a good drive going, and you can see right here in the middle, that's the hold that they're talking about. And that's Paul Kruger that's taken down. The right call for sure. In that situation, though, you want to let your running back see if he can get to the edge. You don't want it. You can't take a 10-yard penalty.
That backs the Jaguars back to the Cleveland 47-yard line on 2nd and 14. Pump fake pressure from behind. Bortles throws down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Pressure was coming. Allen Robinson, the intended target.
Now this looked like Bortles was going to get this ball batted out of his hands back in the pocket. Watch down at the bottom, you're going to see the double move, a hard move. Cleveland does a great job of keeping the lid on that defense. The screen and Hayden don't let guys get over the top very much. They've given up some big plays, and it's taught them a lesson this year, so they'll let those guys do that hard fake and stay on top of it.
So now it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 for the Jaguars. Swing it to Robinson. Across the 45, cuts back and tackle at the 42. Well short of a first down. Justin Gilbert on the tackle, and that brings up 4th down, and Brian Anger, the punter, is coming on the field for Jacksonville.
Yeah, you go back to that penalty.
That was a killer.
Yeah, I mean, it took them, after the play, they had a 1st and 10 on the 33. It was already in field goal range, and now they end up having to punt the football away.
It would be a 57-yard field goal from here, so Brian Anger will punt, and Jim Leonard is back deep, awaiting the punt at the 10. Leonard lets this one bounce, and Jordan Todman with a great play at the 6-yard line. So Anger pins him deep. Cleveland football when we come back. 13 punts in this game, 16 points on the scoreboard. Jacksonville leads by 4. Ben Tate on first down. Thrown down by Puzzlesny and Andre Branch. Wednesday on CBS, Dylan McDermott and Maggie Q star in the new hit thriller Stalker. That's Wednesday at 10/9 Central, only CBS. Cleveland has scored 21 points or more in every game this season. Seattle and Philadelphia, the only other teams to do that. But right now, the Browns barely keeping their head above water. They've got just 2 field goals as Ben Tate limps to the sideline. Crowell comes in, but comes down to the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver on 2nd and 10. Hoyer has time. Over the middle to a wide open Hawkins, first down. Hawkins off to the races. Andrew Hawkins at the 50. Cuts it back and tackled at the 30-yard line. There's your explosive play, a 64-yard gain.
What a great play out of the end zone. They go to the empty backfield. You're going to see Hawkins right here. He's just going to go up and across the middle, but they spread the field so well. Right there, he's actually behind him. Hawkins came in behind the underneath coverage, and what a big play for the Cleveland Browns.
Josh Evans missed a tackle. Derek Marks did not miss that tackle right there on first down. That 65-yard grab now officially for Hawkins, the longest of his career. He's now over 100 yards for the first time in his career. 100 to be exact.
Just shaking off something, haven't got his either a stinger down his arm or maybe his finger got jammed or something. Obviously, he's in some discomfort. And if he has to catch another ball, that might be a problem.
8:50 to go in the 4th. Hoyer, pressure coming, and he's sacked. Puzzlesny got back there quickly, and he appeared to injure himself on that sack.
Well, Hoyer does the right thing and just ducks and covers. Both guys come free. Telvin Smith, Puzzlesny, as Puzzlesny goes over the top. Something happened, obviously, to his arm. We'll see what happens here. And whether he just got a... Didn't look like
He reached out with that right arm. He must have...
Look at him. You can see him there.
Yeah,
He's
he is
still...
hurt.
He's as tough as they come, though. Puzzlesny staying on the field. His 2nd sack of the season. Now, 3rd and 22 for Cleveland. Hoyer in trouble, and he throws it away, incomplete. Derek Marks applying the pressure, and it's 4th and a mile.
Derek Marks has been an absolute monster all day today.
Yeah, and you watch this. It's going to come from the top there. It's working up. It's working out against McQuiston there, the right guard. The switch by the defender's Branch comes from the other side, but the switch on the front side of the play by the defensive end, defensive tackle, confuses the guard tackle for Cleveland and gets right into Hoyer's face.
Punt number 7 for Lanning. There's a flag down, 2 flags back at the line of scrimmage. Sanders lets this one go into the end zone. And now let's take a look and see what we have with 2 flags at midfield. A hold against the Browns.
The question is,
Holding offense, the center. Jacksonville has exercised the option of taking the result of the play plus a 10-yard penalty. It'll be Jacksonville's ball at the 30-yard line, first down.
Wow. The original line of scrimmage.
7:47 to go, fourth quarter. Jags by 4. Thursday, football starts here. Welcome to the Wild West. And the Chargers and the Broncos are set to square off. That should be a great game. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. And who would your MVP be right now? DeMarco Murray of the Cowboys or Phillip Rivers of the Chargers?
Well, I think for me it's Phillip Rivers. I mean, the guy's playing at a really high level. He's completing 70% of his passes. 2 interceptions on the year. He's thrown 15 touchdowns. That team wouldn't be anywhere without him.
well, I'm a quarterback, but I think that what DeMarco Murray has done for the Cowboys is rejuvenated that whole franchise. He's made Tony Romo a better quarterback. That is pretty darn valuable, if you ask me.
Play action on first down for Jacksonville. Bortles rolling right. Flag is down, and he just throws this one away.
This could be holding against Jacksonville as Tafo'o tried to get out into the route.
Holding defense. A 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Instead, it goes against the Browns. And they want to know who it was. No number was announced.
Well, I think it was Desmond Bryant, number 92, who held Tafo'o as he tried to release into it, just wouldn't let him go and just reached out and grabbed him with one hand.
8th penalty against the Browns today. It's cost him 50 yards. Denard Robinson up the middle, and he gets to the 39-yard line before Carlos Dansby stops his progress. 7:30 and counting in this game, and you got to think that Jacksonville will try to work that play clock a little bit here now down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
I bet you Desmond, Denard Robinson started trying to get it out here. He's not used to getting a beating like that today. He's worked pretty darn hard.
Mingo threw a little left in there.
Little illegal left there.
Denard Robinson has gone over 100 yards rushing today. Previous career high was 28 yards rushing. And again, Jacksonville just working the clock inside 7 minutes to go.
And they worked the clock down to a 3rd and 3, which they're 3rd and 3 plus. I mean, that's on schedule for an offense. And at this point of the game, you know, these third downs are the downs that are just as important as the explosive plays because they give you a chance to continue and bring you closer to a win. And these are the kind of spots where Jacksonville has struggled in the first 6 weeks of the season.
They need a big play here. 3rd down and 3. Bortles, pump fakes, now looking deep, nobody home. Buster's screen did not bite on the pump fake. Good coverage on Allen Hurns.
Well, you say they needed a big play, but really they just needed an important play. It was just a 3-yard gain is all they need. They tried to go for really a home run shot, and really what they needed to do was just stay on the football field offensively.
And that comes down also to decision making. You know, they might have called a deep ball at the field, but an experienced quarterback will look up the field and say, hey, it's not there. Where's my check down? We only need to pick up 4 yards. Let's try and get a completion and convert this.
What a wasted drive by Jacksonville. There's a flag down on this punt. They barely took any time off the clock on that shot. Great punt by Anger. Poyer muffs it, and it's scooped up by Todman. Did he hold on to it? Yes, he does. Remember, though, there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Todman might have started out with it, but it might change possession 3 different times under that stack. There's nothing worse than being at the bottom of a pile of a loose football in the National Football League. And they still haven't got them unwound.
They did give a signal that Jacksonville had it, but now they're going back into it.
They've already indicated twice that it's Jacksonville football. The interesting thing on that punt return is that every time the Browns have been back deep awaiting the punt, it's been Jim Leonard. Right there it was Jordan Poyer.
Gus Bradley gives us the signal.
There was a penalty on the play. Offside. Defense in the neutral zone at the snap. This penalty will be refused. Result of the play was a left punt recovered by Jacksonville. First down.
So it's Jacksonville football. Here's the offside.
Right down inside.
And then Poyer. Again, it's been Leonard back there the entire day. And Poyer comes in, muffs the punt, and Jacksonville has it 1st and goal. 2nd turnover today.
Not only did he muff it, he muffed it on his 2-yard line. That is a complete no-no to field a punt inside your 5, let alone the 3 or the 2. Completely blown opportunity, a bad decision.
The ball hit him right in the face. Obviously, he took his eyes off the ball.
So 1st and goal for Jacksonville. Denard Robinson running left, trying to get to the outside, now cuts it back, dives, touchdown! The first touchdown of Denard Robinson's career. And he's going to keep that football.
Well, he's earned it, without a doubt. Great execution, sealing off the edge of that defense, and then a really nice cut back into the end zone. He knew that he had a chance. All he had to do was get it across that goal line. He felt he could do it cutting behind. What a great play.
Jed Fish, all fired up, the Jags offensive coordinator. And now Scobie on for the extra point. Just the 3rd rushing touchdown this season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They extend their lead. It's 17-6. First touchdown in Denard Robinson's career. He's got 20 carries today for 111 yards, and it's off the Jordan Poyer muff punt. Jacksonville able to capitalize. They lead at 17-6. Scobie kicks it away. It'll be another touchback. Browns with 3 timeouts coming back on the field. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They're fired up in Jacksonville. The Jaguars have a 17-6 lead, but Brian Hoyer and the Browns have been in this position before. Do they have another miracle comeback in them? Down by 11, inside 6 minutes to go. Largest lead for the Jacksonville Jaguars since week 1. And Telvin Smith showing off his speed again. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Well, Kyle Shanahan sticking with the run. We've talked about his commitment to sticking with it, but right there, Telvin Smith, great open field tackle. He's earned himself much more playing time by the way he's playing today.
A 5th-round pick this year out of Florida State. Hoyer over the middle, behind Tate, picked off! Guess who? Telvin Smith lost the football out of bounds, but an interception for Telvin Smith.
You're a genius, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
You called it.
You know,
we were talking about Telvin Smith in the break, and his speed is really the thing that sets him apart. He's only 218 pounds playing linebacker, but really his speed has really allowed him to make some plays lately.
Yeah, and only Brian Hoyer's 2nd interception of the year. There's Telvin Smith right in the middle. Ball thrown behind him. Telvin Smith opportunistic right there, picks it up. Half the battle is being in the right position defensively. If you're where you're supposed to be and ready to take advantage of a mistake like Telvin Smith was right there, good things usually happen.
Just the 2nd interception this year for the Jacksonville defense, and for Hoyer, his first pick in his last 249 passes. So again, 1st and goal for Jacksonville off a turnover. Storm Johnson play action. Bortles on the run. Fires to Shorts out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Well, this is not what we have come to expect from the Cleveland Browns offensively. There's not been one point during this game where you felt like they had any real rhythm going. You got to give credit to the Jacksonville defense. The question is, can the offense cash in, take advantage of it one more time?
Browns had 2 turnovers in the first 5 games. They have 3 today. 2nd and goal from the 4. They give it to Johnson. Trying to get to the outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown! second touchdown of the season for Storm Johnson.
We spoke about it in the open, about how the Cleveland Browns had a stretch of games where the next three opponents were 1-16. It's a classic trap game. We noticed it from the beginning that Cleveland didn't look as efficient as they do normally, but we also knew that their front four, their front line on defense was completely injured and nicked up. They went down their depth chart, and it's starting to show up. The Jacksonville Jaguars are running the football on the Browns today, and that's a surprise.
Jags had 2 rushing touchdowns the whole season coming into today. They have 2 rushing touchdowns in the last minute 23 here in the fourth quarter, as Scobie's extra point is good.
Gus Bradley not used to being in this position. I'll tell you, he's not counting his chickens. I guarantee you that right now. There's still time on that clock. But this team, there you see Blake Bortles, this team needs this win more than you could ever possibly express.
Yeah, been a crazy couple of minutes.
Well, it started with the muff punt right there. Poirier muffs that thing, and who knows who came up with that football, but the bottom line is he's wearing a Jaguars jersey. Denard Robinson finishes off that drive, and then right away he come back with the newest big playmaker on the Jacksonville defense, Telvin Smith, getting the turnover and finished it off by the rookie running back, Storm Johnson. A pretty dominating performance by this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and then the offense stepping up when they need to cash in on those 2 big turnovers.
There you see, first 5 games, only a couple of giveaways. They got 3 today, and it turned into 17 points. The only 17 points they've allowed off turnovers for the entire season. And you can look at the scoreboard and say, that's the difference in the ball game.
Well, the Jags have gone 8 straight games dating back to last season without scoring 20 points. They've scored 24 straight points in this game against the Browns with 4:35 to go. Cleveland does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Another touchback for Josh Scobie. So Brian Hoyer comes back out onto the field in what's been his worst performance of the season. 12 out of 35 for 192 yards, the interception and the lost fumble.
Well, if you saw the feature on the Browns today on the NFL Today, you saw Hoyer saying that the thing you worry about with a team like the Browns is that they're not used to winning. And so how do they handle this success? Well, today, this whole team has shown that they're not ready for this ball game, and Hoyer included in that group.
I also think you got to give a lot of credit to the Jacksonville defense. They played very well today. That pass is caught by Hawkins, tackled at the 31-yard line. But the Browns came in averaging 146 yards rushing per game, and they've only got 70 today. First and 10 for the Browns. Screen pass to Tate. Telvin Smith with another tackle.
We got to get used to calling Telvin Smith's number. He showed up a couple of weeks ago in a couple of plays where they were sprinkling him in. As there's a Andre Branch remains down for Jacksonville.
So the Jaguars staff attending to Andre Branch. You talk about Telvin Smith. He was a 5th-round pick, and said to Gus Bradley, well, how come he slipped so far if he's got this much potential? Well, coming out of Florida State, he only weighed 200 pounds, and nobody wanted to draft a linebacker who was 200 pounds. So they got him in the 5th round, and they put 20 pounds on him, and now with his speed, he's becoming quite a player in his rookie season. He's got 4 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a forced fumble.
Well, they ran a sub-4.5 40 at the combine, so the guy can really scoot. And they put they put the weight on him, and slowly but surely he started to get to a point where they felt confident putting him in there. And certainly his speed is something that you just, if you can plug that in, that gives him a little edge on whoever he may be defending. And even though he may not be heavy enough
to stop some guys, he can certainly run them down.
If you can't block him, if you can't get to him, he's going to make a lot of plays. He's showing he can do that right now, and a lot of concern around Branch right now.
Third-year player out of Clemson. Did not practice Wednesday with a groin injury.
Let's see if we can see anything here.
Right up there at the top of your screen.
So he's at the very top of your screen. You see him coming around the edge there. The play goes away from him.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and he looks like something.
Oh, it looks like he might. Yeah. We don't want to speculate, but
yeah, it looks like a
pulled muscle.
Yeah,
of some
exactly.
sort.
It's a pulled muscle. Could be anyway. But I remember on this so many years ago, we saw Fred Taylor pull a muscle. You know, pulled a muscle so badly it came away from the
detached from the bone.
Yeah, and that looks like he's really in some pain.
Yeah.
For a non-contact injury, that's always what you kind of suspect, but obviously he's. I hate to see that.
Second-round pick in 2012 for the Jaguars, so he gets some help off to the sideline. Now 2nd and 12 for the Browns. Clock is running inside 4 minutes to go. Hoyer to Jordan Cameron. And you know what? That's the first time today we've called Jordan Cameron's name, his first catch.
And the amazing thing is the Jaguars have had a lot of trouble covering tight ends this year to this point. Well, Jordan Cameron, one of the best in the league, has been invisible for the Browns offense today.
Over 100 yards receiving last week against the Steelers for Cameron. 3rd down and 7. Hoyer to Gabriel. Nice spin move. And that spot is going to be good for a first down.
And Jacksonville more than happy to keep giving the Cleveland Browns 5, 6, 7 yards a pop. It's a 3-score ball game. They're going to just let this clock milk. They'll give them those short ones all day long.
They run the ball, and Ben Tate loses a yard.
Yeah, because it's going to end up, as you see, some Derek Marks getting up and pushing and shoving out, but the Browns at this pace don't have enough plays left with 2:40 and counting to come back in this game.
It's taking way too long. Hoyer, incomplete. Looking for Gabriel. Allen Ball on the coverage. With 2:27 to go, 3 timeouts remain for the Browns.
Well, you know what this is? This is just another example of how competitive this league is. And if you don't bring your A game every single week, doesn't matter who you're playing, on any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. Jaguars, nobody gave them a chance today to win this ball game, but they came out here wanting it. They showed up more ready to play than the Browns have been today.
3rd down and 11. Hawkins in motion. Hoyer has time. Now throws, and he sails it over the head of Benjamin. Benjamin was open too, and Hoyer missed him.
I'm not quite sure what to put it on with Hoyer today. There was a lot of pressure on him early in the game. Right here, there's no reason to miss this throw that badly. You see Benjamin was wide open there.
And Browns will go for it on 4th and 11. 2:20 to go.
Yeah, look for Jacksonville to back off this and allow a short completion and come up and try and make the tackle short of the first down.
Hoyer sacked! Chris Clemens and Ziggy Hood combining on the sack. And it's been a miserable offensive day for the Cleveland Browns. This puts an exclamation point on it.
Well, you can't say enough about the job the defensive front for the Jacksonville Jaguars has done all day. Cleveland, we said it in the open, they need the running game in order to be as efficient as they can possibly be. Gus Bradley, I'll tell you what, he's an amazing positive influence on this team. This team is getting more and more confident, but it started up front on the defensive line today, controlling that line of scrimmage.
So the Jaguars take over at the Cleveland 35-yard line. Denard Robinson, who's had the best day of his career, piling on more yards. A gain of 13.
And just like that, they're well within field goal range. They actually took over on downs inside field goal range, and it's a 2-minute warning, and Jacksonville's going to be able to run this out.
Been a rough day for Brian Hoyer and the Browns. 2-minute warning in Jacksonville. They're all pumped up. 2 minutes to go. Jacksonville has lost 9 straight games. Their last win was December 5th of last year against Houston. And they're trying to close out the Browns here and pick up their first win of the season. We told you, as a timeout is called by Cleveland, that Cleveland, a second half team this year, a plus 40 point differential on the year. Well, in this second half today, minus 17. And Gus Bradley has his team on the verge of its first win since December 5th.
Well, this Cleveland Browns team, what they had built their whole essence around this year was protecting the football, playing smart. 3 turnovers all in the second half. That has led to giving the Jacksonville Jaguars Blake Bortles a short field on several occasions. In spite of how poor really Blake Bortles has played today, this Jaguars defense carried him, and the run game showed up today, and Gus Bradley looks like he's going to probably celebrate today, although I'm sure he's not celebrating yet.
2 timeouts remain for the Browns. The center Bowanko came out, McClendon got in. And Storm Johnson gets to the 15-yard line, a yard shy of a first.
Yeah, and you talk about the turnovers, both teams with 3, but actually also Cleveland turned it over twice on downs, which is like 2 more turnovers, and that's, you know, that just piles on to the problems they had.
Surprised the Browns aren't calling a timeout here.
You know, you go back to that first 4th down they went for. You were questioning from the get-go, Steve Tasker, and I think that kind of set the precedent. That gave all the momentum to Jacksonville early, and it kind of sent Cleveland reeling the wrong way.
Third and 1, Johnson, and he's got the first down. And this crowd in Jacksonville starting to taste it.
And that's going to be it as Mike Pettin declines to call a timeout to stop the clock, and 48 seconds and counting. We're a player to kneel down or 2 away from this one being over.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Browns will not call their final 2 timeouts, and Jacksonville is in victory formation.
Well, we're going to see what Brian Hoyer is made of coming up in these next couple of weeks. I fully expect him to go back to work and regroup and bounce back. He's played too well this year to this point. Just a real tough day today, but we'll see if they can regroup and move forward.
Cleveland has not won back-to-back road games since 2008, and Jacksonville has its first win of the season. Jaguars win it 24-6. For Steve Tasker and Steve Berline, this is Andrew Catalon saying so long from Jacksonville. Coming up, the Subway postgame show will take you to New York for all of the scores and highlights. That's all coming up right after this. The Jaguars with their first win of the season.